every tradie's job easier.
Oh, yes, Saturday night footy here at the Adelaide Oval. It's Port Adelaide taking on Richmond. Well, these two sides, they've really built a nice little rivalry over the last couple of years, and there could be still a bit of spice in this one tonight. The Tigers, they're off a big win last week, of course, against Brisbane, and they're half a game outside the 8. And look, season over for Port, but there's nothing they'd love more than to maybe finish the Tigers' year. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy got a big team in for this big clash tonight. We've got the former star of Port Adelaide Premiership player there, of course, and another 3 at Hawthorn. 407 games. We speak of the Silk, Sean Burgoyne. Sean, it's been a bit of a so close yet so far for Port Adelaide season this year, hasn't it?
It is. They're so close, but yeah, like you just said, so far away. I think we were just talking off air just before. Port Adelaide lost, I think, 8 games by under 14 points, and I think 6 of those have been under 12. So you win a few of those, or you get a few more things right, the season looks a lot different. But, you know, they've got to finish off these last 3 weeks and show their supporters, you know, they're really digging in and they want to finish the year off.
Of course, Tommy Rockcliffe, 2-time best and fairest winner at the Lions and former Port Adelaide star himself, joins us. And Rocky, the Tigers, what do you make of them coming into this? Just outside the 8 and a big, big game for them tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is. It'd be good for Port Adelaide to finish their season after what they did to Port Adelaide out here in 2020 when they took that prelim away, but they'll be up and about. I think Richmond, they need to win this to keep their finals dream alive. We know that St Kilda will take on Geelong tonight, so if they win tonight they could be back in the 8, but Shane Edwards is out. He played his 300th last week. And what did you say before, Shawnee, about that?
Shane, unbelievable effort to get to 300 games. Not every player can play 300 games.
Oh, no, only the really good ones, Shawnee. Of course, 407 next to his name. We've got the former star ruckman of the Adelaide Footy Club with us, Rhett Biggles. What do you make of Mitch Georgiades not playing for Port Adelaide tonight?
Yeah, looking forward to get Ken Hinkley on to ask him. I was really confused as to why he wouldn't be playing with Toddy Marshall out of the side. I thought it would have been a perfect opportunity. But when you look at Jeremy Finlayson, he's third on the goal-kicking list for Port Adelaide, and I think he probably is, as good as he is in the ruck, I think he's more valuable up forward because he's a wonderful set shot, and I think the accuracy side of the Port Adelaide Footy Club is what has really been frustrating Ken, and no doubt that Georgiades would have, I think he still kicked 2 in the Maggies today, but hopefully got his confidence back. They know he's a long-term player and just need to get his accuracy up and about.
This is the Triple M footy preview for TaylorMade Golf, the all-new stealth driver from TaylorMade with a 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. Yes, as Biggles touched on, we will be having a chat with the senior coach of Port Adelaide, Ken Hinkley, so we're going down to him pretty soon. Now, when you've got a team that has been to where Port have been over the last few years and now where they are at now, and we're saying they're close but far, and then you have a look at a team like Collingwood, for example, last night, who've jumped from bottom of the ladder, 17th, wherever it was, to what they're doing now. It gives you a bit of confidence to know it's not far away, but what do you think it is that's missing at Port Adelaide at the moment to be where they're sitting?
Yeah. Certainly not the duck and the dinner, that's for sure. All duck and no ghost, is it?
That's a good one, Biggers. Good start from you. But I think we should mention as well, Stevie Motlop off the top, he retired this week, so they're going to go with a little bit more youth, you'd think, Port Adelaide from here. But you speak about Collingwood and where they're at. I think their percentage is 106, sitting second on the ladder. They've won 11 on the trot, and Port Adelaide's percentage is 104. So Sean spoke just before about those close losses that they've had where you flip the coin and Collingwood have been able to win those games of footy. And we called a game a couple of weeks ago here, and it was late in the quarter. Port Adelaide's execution to lock that quarter down and not give up easy goals late was really important against Geelong, and ends up costing them the game in the end. But I think it's just those little moments for Port Adelaide they've got to get back to, and but they certainly train it and work on it during the week, but their execution of it under pressure is what's going to take them from where they are now back to being potentially a contender in 12 months' time.
Well, in 12 months' time, hopefully we're talking about something different, but it starts with pre-season, the off-season, getting yourself physically and mentally right to have a good pre-season, and then executing it on the field. And I think game day, what we've seen is Port haven't been able to stop an opposition team having a surge, whether it's in the second quarter or the third quarter, and then falling behind. So actually in the moment, understanding when teams are having a momentum swing and putting something in place to stop that. And Rock just touched on the Geelong game, but that's happened multiple times this year. And when it comes to those tight games when you lose, those things help. Those things, 1 or 2 goals here and there. You're only looking at 1 goal, saving 1 goal in the first quarter, saving 1 goal in the third quarter, and that could be the game, or just saving 1 goal. So you've got to put those things into practice, but it all comes back down to hard work. There's no luck in this game. It comes down to hard work. And Collingwood gives everyone, a bit of hope that it can happen, but it starts at pre-season, launching into the season. Port 0-5, on the back foot, and Collingwood have taken all before them.
Is there anything to the Pies being just this young side who aren't overcoached and just go out there and play football, have a belief in the game style that just about being Aussie rules players, rather than thinking what they need to do next and having too much of an overcoaching, if you like, because their talent is basically just kids having a crack?
Well, I'm looking at Collingwood's list. I think Lipinski come in from another team.
Yep.
Maybe Woods come in from the reserves because Grundy's been out. So relatively...
Ash Johnson was an inclusion from Sandford.
So relatively had the same list, but they've had a new coach come in and he's just given them the licence to play quick, hard footy. And if you watch them, they're exciting. They take it on through the middle. It's high risk, high reward, and it's helping. But at some stage, opposition teams are going to come at them because it's very hard to hold that momentum. Collingwood are playing with a sense of freedom under a new coach. And I know Fly McRae is obviously at Hawthorn for a year, and he's brought some things over, and he's been a really good inclusion for them.
They were able to execute last night, though, in the last 5 minutes. You could see that they clearly changed their game plan in that last 5 minutes from taking the corridor on. They went out wide. They closed the game down really well. So that was a maturity from them that they were able to do that and flick that mode. And I think even at half-time, you heard in Craig McRae's press conference last night, they were able to shift their style at half-time. They were playing too aggressive and trying to catch Melbourne out that way. But once they tinkered a few things at half-time, their ball movement improved. So I think it shows a level of maturity.
Yeah, because you also got to tinker things like who are we playing the oppo. Melbourne like to get numbers back as hard as anyone, if not more than anyone in the comp. They get numbers through the middle. Collingwood want to come through the middle, and they want to play fast, aggressive footy. They do their research during the week. We can't do that. We've got to go around them, and occasionally Switcher comes through the middle, but we're going to shift. But then to have on-field leaders like Pendlebury and Sidebottom, these guys who are out there who are extensions of the coaching group, to get that message out and have a team that's able to react and change in play and get the win done. And like Rock said, they get it done in big moments, and they got it done at the end of the game. When the game's on the line, they got it done.
Port Adelaide and it's Richmond. We've got Ken Hinkley coming up shortly. Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Rocky, what about a key matchup, mate, for fielders? I know you love to see the midfield grunt. Is there something in there or another matchup you'd like to see for fielders tonight for your fencing needs this footy season?
No, I'm going to go to Richmond's forward line and Port Adelaide's defence. I think Bolton versus Burton is where the game's won or lost for them tonight. I think if Burton can put Shy Bolton away, he's been playing a bit more forward, impacting the scoreboard a lot more this season. We've seen Ryan Burton play really well in the past. He didn't get it done a few weeks ago against Pickett, so that's going to be the key matchup for me.
Yeah, and I reckon Burton will go to him obviously in the forward line. When he comes on board, and Willem Drew should go to him and settle him down. So he's the match winner on the field. You got Connor Rosie for Port Adelaide, who's their match winner, and for Richmond, it's Shy Bolton. He had 12 score involvements last week, which is most of any player in the round. He takes the game on. He's had 85 shots or something like that on goal for a small forward / midfielder. So one player take him on ball and one player take him when he goes forward.
And Port's opposition tonight, Richmond, where are they at, do you reckon? Because seeing them last week, it was pretty scary. They were able to come back from 7 goals down against a real contender in Brisbane and get up and win. They're the sort of team that you think, come September, they've been there and done it. They might just be able to do some damage if they can creep their way there.
Yeah, I think if they sneak in, you certainly wouldn't want to play them. They've been there, they've done it before, they know what it's all about. They've still got some stars out there. Dusty's still missing at the moment, but you look across the board, they've got a potent forward line that can kick a big score. Their midfield works as a unit, and their defence is quite sound. Grimes, we know that's not there tonight, but they're the complete package, and they have been for a number of years, and that's why they've won those 3 premierships.
Yeah, they've got a number of quality players still out there. I'm really interested to see where Liam Baker starts this game, whether it's forward, mid or back, and he's like Mr. Fix-It in there. You've got Shay Bolton, who does it in midfield forward, but Liam Baker, what is he? He's 5'4", but he plays with such. Well, he probably is 5'4".
Well, last time they played Port Adelaide, he was the match winner in the last quarter. I think he had something stupid like 12 possessions and kicked 2 goals in the last quarter to take the game away from Port Adelaide.
I'm keen to see where he starts, and we don't really talk about him because of Dusty and Shea and Rewalt and all these other guys, but he's the one who gets under the radar and he gets the job done in big moments, and he's very consistent as well. So I think he's just re-signed throughout the year as well, and some big money, kept the Western Australian teams at bay. But yeah, he's a quality player.
Brad Ebert, a star of the Port Adelaide Footy Club, is on the boundary for us tonight for Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts, look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. Take it away, Ebo.
All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm down here with Port Adelaide coach Ken Hinkley. Kenny, another tough loss last week. It's sort of all but, guarantees no finals. How's the week been, and how do you keep getting the boys up?
Yeah, it's been a bit challenging, Brad, as you said. In the last 3 weeks, we've played the 3 best teams in the competition, and we've come up short, but been in every game and could have easily have won all 3 games. But as our season has been this year, it hasn't gone the way we'd have liked it. Easy to keep the boys up. The boys, have an obligation to come out and perform at their absolute best. Nothing's done until it's done, and that's our attitude. Our season is to complete the whole year.
Yeah, mate, no, that's very good. Now, you had made a change. Mitch Georgiadis out. Now, Toddy Marshall's gone out with COVID. You've gone in pretty small with the forward line. Was that okay? How did Mitchie go in the SNFL, and what was the decision there?
Yeah, well, firstly, Mitch was a little bit out of form, but he went okay today in a game that was pretty challenging for our boys, but Mitch was pretty strong and played really well, which you'd expect him to do when he goes back to the level of the sample. And we brought Bryn Teakle in, so we're probably not that much smaller when it comes to that. So we're really keen on Bryn to get some more football into him this year, knowing what his first 35 minutes was like. So it's exciting to see him out there. It allows us to play Finlayson and Dixon Moore as forwards. So yeah, Todd's a huge out for us because he's been our best forward all season. So, but we think we can structure around him.
Too easy, mate. I'll throw it up to you boys.
And Kenny, Tom Rockcliffe here. How you going? One of your favourite players of all time. But
who are we talking about now?
The reason you left, you've gone smaller in that forward half. Is it because Richmond are a high handball team in their back half, so you want to bring the pressure?
Yeah, a little bit. Right. I mean, we understand Richmond's game. We actually have pretty good games against the Tigers, unfortunately, and they're always pretty tight. But yeah, we understand that they've got some run and gun about them, the way they like to exit the back, our forward 50. So it's up to us to get some real pressure on them. And we also lose Lockie Jones, who would have been really helpful in the pressure situation. But we've structured the side up, which we think will give us a great opportunity.
And it's Sean here. Just want to touch on Shai Bolton, who's obviously...
Could have been my favourite Port Adelaide player.
Could have been if things turned out a bit different. But Shai Bolton's obviously in form, and he's one of Richmond's most influential players. Do you go head-to-head with him with Connor Rosie and make him try play the other way, or do you try to just nullify his impact on the contest? Because he's one of their players who was in form.
Yeah, he's a star, Sean, as we know, and he's had 82 scoring shots this year, which is remarkable for a small forward. So he basically plays the dusty role a little bit more, where he plays midfield for centre bounce, and he plays a bit of midfield, but he's often spending a lot of time forward. So for us to go head to head with him through the midfield, we'll certainly be keen enough to have a crack at that. But he's going to probably come forward a lot more than we'd expect him to be, and compared to a midfielder. So we think that our matchups down back, we've got Birdo down there who plays on those type of players more often than not. So he's also got a big job.
Kenny, have you identified what's gone wrong this year in those games? It seems like it's been the playbook this year for Port Adelaide. Give up a bit of a lead, fight the way back, almost get in front, if not get in front, and then just fall just short. Is there anything in that? Have you identified anything out of that?
Yeah, we have. Look, it's as much in the turnover game that we've played, and we haven't been able to limit our turnovers enough, and also make the opposition pay. Probably more around making the opposition pay, because we're a very good defensive team. We get the ball back off the oppo really well, but you've got to make them pay on the return, on the relaunch, and we haven't been able to do that as well as we'd like. And we spend a lot of time on it, but we're still a work in progress. If you look at our game, our forward half ball, when we move it forward, we're just not damaging enough still going through there, and Todd's certainly grown a lot. We've had some other pieces not available to us, but we're still growing in that area. And if you ask me where we've probably lost those close games, I'd say it's in the turnover.
Absolutely. Now, matchup-wise tonight, Lynch and Riewoldt, they've been really good. Tom Cleary misses out again as a key defender. Who goes to Lynch and who goes to Riewoldt?
Look, we'll structure up around where we need to be, and typically Mackenzie plays our last line defender. So if that's Tommy or if that's Jack, that's where he'll be, and we'll have TJ probably and Alir taking and sharing the other one. They'll be pretty tall down there, I think, too. So with what they've picked with Gipkus, they've got Noah Bolter, and they've also got Miller, and they're starting a couple of those talls on the bench. So I assume that one of them will be forward. So that'll be that'll give our other talls something to go to.
One final question before we let you go. One of the Tigers' strengths, of course, is forcing the opposition their defence into turnover, Ken. Normally Birdo is entrusted with that beautiful kick of his out of your back half. Have you looked at Jace Burgoyne or had a discussion with him about possibly playing that role and using that sort of quarterback position?
Yeah, Jake's a very young player, and we're really loving what he's done. He's been incredible coming into his first season at AFL football and playing with the composure that he's had. And, he's growing his game really quickly, but, we won't put too much on him at the moment. It's really helpful that we've got Houston back in the team as well tonight, and he's, in elite league, so Jace will have a pretty big role. He's playing against a really experienced team. It's just great learning for him.
And one last one before we let you go, Kenny. What do you want to get out of the last 3 weeks? What can a Port Adelaide fan hang their hat on in the last 3 games?
The team will turn up like it has done since round 5 and turn up and give a real crack. And, ideally we will win most of those games. I'd love us to win the 3 of them, if I'm being really honest. I'd love us to go hard and go after it and finish the year as strong as we can be, and then take some learnings out of that year and see where it ends up.
Well, Ken, you've been terrific with us on Triple M Footy. We really appreciate your time again tonight. Thank you.
Good on you guys. Thanks.
Ken Hinkley, coach of Port Adelaide. It's the Tigers and the Power going head-to-head in this clash tonight. It's our Triple M Footy preview for TaylorMade Golf. The new Stealth driver from TaylorMade with the 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. We've got Tom Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne having a look at this game. Take us through it, boys. How's this going to be won and lost tonight?
Yeah, well, I think Port Adelaide have got to start well and be in the game for 4 quarters. We've seen them, we spoke about it just then with Ken. They've been giving up those leads at different stages throughout the season. So they've got to stay focused on the job at hand tonight. And I think they're in this game. I think they can actually win tonight. I'm going to tip Port Adelaide to beat Richmond tonight.
Yeah, I reckon the game will be won and lost in the midfield. Whoever can get the ball played in their forward half and lock it in there and keep it in there and get repeated shots on goal. So it'll be very interesting. Both teams have got some very explosive players in the midfield. So it'll be interesting to see, Rosie goes to Bolton at some stage and Liam Baker goes in at some stage. So I reckon whoever wins the midfield battle and gives more supply to their forward line will win.
If it turns into a stoppage game, it favours Port Adelaide, but if it turns into a turnover game, it certainly suits Richmond. They're third in the competition over the last month for their intercept score differential. Port Adelaide are 13th, but Port have been really effective from stoppage in the last month, so that'll change a little bit tonight with Teakle coming back into the mix. But Port Adelaide, if they can turn it into a stoppage game, it'll certainly suit them, where Richmond don't like a stoppage game at all. They actually are ranked 16th for games over the last month of stoppages, so they want the ball to ping-pong a little bit, stay live and not get out of bounds.
And that's reflected in the number of disposals the Tigers have. They don't have big numbers, do they? But they just prey on that turnover with defenders running out. So they get that pressure straight at the Port Adelaide defence today, and they've got to make sure that the best kicks, which I sort of asked to Kenny, who's your best kicks in your side? Who can you rely on? We know Birdo can do it. I'd love to see your nephew do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a good little kicker, he is. But I reckon the other thing is a story within the game. And, Richmond showed how much they want to keep in touch with finals and win last week. And they obviously came back and got that victory against Brisbane at the G. But how much do they want to play finals tonight? And if it gets a bit too hard, if Port Adelaide get on top, will they hang in there and fight back? And then for Port Adelaide, if Richmond get on top, do they really want to fight out this last 3 weeks and finish the year off on a high? So there's a story within both teams, and it'll be very interesting to see how that goes as the game unfolds.
Rocky, I reckon you might have written an article earlier in the year about Port being able to move the ball, and I just had a look at their stats the last month. They're like, what have they had? It's like in the last 4 weeks, they're one of the lowest ranked teams to be able to go from defence and link those defensive chains to a scoring shot. So what do you think they're missing, Port Adelaide, of being able to move the footy properly?
Oh, I think it's been an issue for 3 years now, to be honest. I wrote that article about Port Adelaide's offence, and everything is hard work in offence for them. They go long down the line a lot. They want to play that game where they just need to be a little bit looser, take a few more risks. We know the Port Adelaide of old was so good when they took risks, hit the 45s, and away you go.
Let's head down to Brad Ebert. Ebo, mate, welcome back. Who won the toss?
Yes, thank you very much, boys. It is as crisp as a hay diddle Riesling down here. I cannot... I cracked myself up. Now, Nankervis won the toss, and he's kicking to the northern end. So Richmond are going to the north. The benches, we've got Carl Amon, Kane Farrell, Willem Drew, Jace Burgoyne, and Riley Bonners, the sub for Port Adelaide. While Richmond, we've got Ross, Gibcus, Miller and Rioli, with Castanhas the sub. So I'll cross back up to you, boys. I'm looking forward to a cracking game of footy.
It'd never tear us apart. Oh, Saturday night footy, Port Adelaide and the Tigers. Here is Red Biglands to get us going for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water.
Well, Tigers, their first win of the month came last week versus the Lions, a 7-point victory, and they are clinging on to a finals hope. And look at the ruck as well. That was an important matchup because straight away Nankervis got a palm down to Koch, and it was just out of the textbook. Then around that corner they go into attacking 50. Top of the goal square, Lynch couldn't gather, does on the second attempt. The pitch is in front of him. Tried to square it up with a strange little kick. Pickett's to help him out. Still there. Shea Bolton twisting, turning. Turned back inside. Great pressure from Port Adelaide. And they've jumped on it. Rosie and Aliir will try to clear.
So he does, gets it out of there, but gee, under all sorts of heat, Port Adelaide boat got a little boot to it. Here's Pal Pepper. He's sweeping on it. Pickett trails him and it goes out of play. We'll have it thrown in.
You just saw Bolton in the forward pocket, didn't he? Electrifying. A very electrifying play. In form. Very lucky to stop him there.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. We've got Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe tonight. Throw in, outer side. Tap down, then Curvis Pickett, a little tap to the advantage of the Tigers. Around the body goes Sonsi. He finds a target, Cochin, a bit of a squaring ball to Short.
Short has options inside. One of them is Baker. It's on the front edge of the centre square. Gets back off his mark, and again, that was barely 15. But finds Rioli, and they're going to pace it out, but it was just enough to get the journey, and Daniel Rioli will have a shot directly in front, 45 out.
Yeah, Harvey Norman replay. Really poor then from Port Adelaide's defence. They just let their runners go. I think it was Darcy Byrne-Jones let Rioli run, but had Rioli not taken the mark, Rewalt was by himself as well. Tom Jonas had dropped off, so they look a little bit out of sorts at the moment, Port Adelaide's defence, so they want to turn that around really quickly.
It's in goal-kicking form, Daniel Rioli. Got one against the Tigers. He was involved in 6 score involvements. This one from 50. Gets plenty of purchase on it. Got the journey and the accuracy. First the night to the Tigers. They're on the board. 1 straight 6. Port Adelaide yet to score. And that is all happening on Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
There's only been 2 stoppages at the moment, and Richmond have clearly won those 2 clearances. And Nankervis is going to have a big say. So Teakle's in the game. He's got to actually match him. But at the moment, Finlaysen's going with him as well. So they've really got to watch that, but really dominating at the moment. Daniel Rioli, he's in career best form off half-back. Just to float down like that, very easy for him.
Yeah, I don't really like Port Adelaide's mix in there at the moment. They had Boak in there. Boak, Rosie and Wines, all 3 aggressive players. They need that defensive role, and I think the first centre bounce, Wines just peeled off and it went straight to his man Cochin as the sweeper. So they'll have to tighten that up a little bit, Port Adelaide. They won't get it all on their own terms tonight, and Richmond have started the game exactly the way they wanted to.
Tommy Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne tonight for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Got a recall bounce.
Thank you, Jaden.
McDonald's catch a quarter-pounder range meal and score a free Macca's glass. Start collecting today. Tigers lead it by 6. Umpire throws it up and Rucks go at it. He got the tap down, Teakle. Now Rosie copped the high one. Advantage paid. Butters to Boak to Byrne-Jones. Puts a high ball inside 50. Robbie Gray trying to sneak around the back. And he was grabbing the jumper of Broad. And you can hear the umpires mic'd up exclusively for Triple M.
They get on with it quickly, the Tigers. They love to slingshot. Broad heads it out. Then Lynch came steaming out of half forward to gather. Cochin got smashed through though. Butters was terrific. Took the ball and the body, and then the kick, another turnover. This is where the Tigers prey. The intercepting mark there from Jaden Short. He squares it up. Big nank. Inside the centre square. That impressive start, Nankervis. Took on Finlayson at the first bounce. Now he has Teakle for company. So he just dumps one to towards the tall timber. Lynch couldn't get a run, and his arms were held. Aliir caught one. He's down behind play. And the ball spills out. Rosie was terrific with his hands. Oh, chopped off though. It's still inside attacking 50. The pressure is on. Byrne-Jones just gets a wobbly kick trying to clear the area. Oh, nice little move there inside out from Bolter. Turned one way, then came back the other. And now the Tigers are under pressure in the half-forward flank. Going through, strong of the footy, Graham. And now Bergman's going to relieve the pressure for the Power.
The Port under all sorts of heat here. Tigers are really putting some pressure around the ball. Teakle held for a long time without it. And Bolter, he got a handball. Big tackle by McEntee and Boak. We'll have a ball up on the logo centre wing. Brad Ebert, Bob Jane, T-Marts.
Yes, we talked about Richmond's ball movement before the game, and they've just been able to get the ball and actually bomb it forward, not worrying about what's forward, just knowing that their forwards are going to create that contest for them.
Rosie for Port out of the contest. Pal Pepper just about plucked a one-armer. Here's an opportunity. Nankervis got the boot into it. Sends the Tigers to half forward. Lynch too good. Turns and goes. Didn't hear the tackle from behind coming from Houston.
Straight up.
Big tackle. Drags him down. Port to get it across their defensive 50.
Just no awareness there. He marked the ball and Houston was standing 2 metres in front of him, then turns his back. Does he think Houston's going to disappear?
Now, Dan Houston didn't bring his invisible suit tonight. He steamed him down. What a chase down. And that'll inspire the Port Adelaide side. They go to half forward through Pal Pepper, who turns and burns. Top of the goal square, Dixon! Mark straight out in front. Got the arms fully extended, and that's when he's at his most dangerous.
Really unselfish play there by Pal Pepper, wasn't it? Marked the ball, rolled, hits the 50, and he can easily have a shot, but he does a team thing out in front of Dixon, and you probably want your big man feeling good about himself.
Yeah, the teammates of this man, Charlie Dixon, certainly walk taller when he's in the side. Missed half the year with that surgery, and playing just his 10th match for the year, directly in front to get the first of the night for the Power. Does just that. It's a goal apiece here at the Adelaide Oval. On the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services, and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Quite incredible then from Tom Lynch. It was like he had all day to make that play. And as funny as it sounds, Port Adelaide needed that goal and the ball movement off half-back from Dan Houston to switch the play to the open side of the ground. And as you said, Pal Pepper took that mark at half-forward, rolled on his leg and found Dixon in the open space. But there was a few alarm bells ringing, I reckon, early on for Port Adelaide. Richmond had bought the heat and they're playing their brand of footy, and Port Adelaide certainly needed that steadier.
Well, that's how you got to kick the ball in front, because Richmond are all going, defenders are all behind. If you bomb it, that's how they want it. They play from behind. So you've got to lower your eyes, exactly what Pal Pepper did there to Dixon.
Sean Burgoyne there with Tom Rockcliffe for Seabass Super. We're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. The Tigers get it working to half forward and try to sweep through and grab the ball. Morris Rioli, it's out of play. And we'll have it thrown in. 1 straight 6 to 1 straight 6. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Here the umpires barking instructions. Nankervis to go up against Teakle. Teakle got the tap to the back. Poke a little soccer out of midair. Gains some metres. Back and tees. Bustled over the line by Baker. And we'll have it thrown in underneath the Max Bashir stand on the eastern side.
And the old width off his back, boys. McIntosh, the offside wingman, is pulling Carl Amon out 30, 40 metres behind the stoppage. Quite a long way than normal.
Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe in control of the Triple M Seabus Super Special comments tonight. So from the stoppage, Richmond trying to come out the defensive side, but immediately Vlosten is set upon. Chase down from behind from Rosie. Get another ball up. So we've only played just 8 minutes in this first term, all locked away, a goal apiece. Teakle was shoved under. Umpire didn't see a free kick. Boak was nicely moving through traffic, gets in one way and out the other. All of a sudden it just lands in the lap. Can you believe that? Finlayson got an easy one, just a handball over the top, and Dixon has 2. Port Adelaide go back to back. 2 straight 12, Richmond a 1 goal 6 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, really good pressure from Port Adelaide then. They forced Richmond into a handball game that ended up looping, and I think it was Connor Rosie coming forward. So on the Red Z lending stats there, Port Adelaide are up to 7 tackles to Richmond's 1. I know we spoke about Richmond's heat being really good at the start of the game, but Port Adelaide are actually making those effective tackles where Richmond haven't been able to stick them. They got the ball in long. Finlayson really clever with his body work and handballed it over the top to Charlie Dixon running to an open goal.
Well, that's the key there. On the Harvey Norman replay, Finlayson laid early contact on Tarrant and got the ball. So, that was a really, really easy thing to do, but he gets body contact, wins the ball, and Dixon finds himself free.
Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe tonight, bringing you all the insights for Seabus. Back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Port Adelaide lead it. Big tackle in the middle. Umpire's going to run in. Drew was upended by Castagna. Actually, it might have been Prestia. Tap down. Now an opportunity out of the middle here for the Tigers. They get it working forward. Lynch. Has he taken it? He has. It was a late call. His arms are in there. Umpire was trying to see where the Sharon was. same colour as the Tigers jumper tonight, and he'll go back straight in front, Lynch from 40.
Yeah, really good, strong, contested mark there from Tom Lynch, and that's the second time he's outbodied Trent McKenzie early on in this game. So if that continues, I'd expect a change to come, whether it be Aaliyah or Jonas. But one-on-one so far, they've certainly belonged to Tom Lynch over Trent McKenzie.
So Lynch going to the Cathedral end, northern end here at the Oval. He gets underneath it a bit. It's fading out right, and he's missed. So it's a minor score. It's 2 straight Port Adelaide. Richmond a 117 Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting traders with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services, and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job easier.
Oh, McKenzie had his kick smothered by Lynch, so McKenzie's having a bit of a mare at the moment. And the umpire has paid deliberate in the pocket. So after McKenzie's kick was smothered, he then went for the safety of the boundary line, flicked it forward. Tom Rockcliffe doesn't agree, though.
That's a tough call.
That's as horrible as the 2020 prelim final, deliberate out of bounds on Hamish Hartlett.
That was. I don't think that was deliberate at all.
So Lynch from the boundary steps one foot inside the boundary line and doesn't get enough purchase on it, kicks it out of bounds on the full in front of the old scoreboard. So no score out of 117. Tigers, 2 straight 12 Port Adelaide. Let's get down to the boundary and see Brad Ebert for Bob Jones team.
I'm going to have to go against what you boys just said about the out of bounds on the deliberate out of bounds there. I certainly think sitting on the boundary, it looks as if it's deliberate as it gets.
Good stuff,
Sorry, boys.
Bob Jones team arts. Rocky's still sulking from a couple of years ago.
You reckon I've moved on, Yoda?
I think there's something just simmering in the guts, Rocky.
I don't think I've forgotten it yet, Yoda.
We'll have it thrown in. 2 straight 12 Port. 117 Richmond. Teakle going up against Miller. Miller got the tap down for Richmond. Willem Drew right at the toes of Wines. He's wrapped up in a strong Cochin tackle. Ripped the Sherrin out of his grasp as well. Now here's a opportunity for Port Adelaide. Aim on to Drew to Burn Jones. He heard a voice out the back, sweeping through. It was Burgoyne. Jace getting it through, but Lynch came through for Richmond. It's in dispute in the middle of the ground. Opportunity now for Graham. Tumbling, rolling footy. Nice work, Port. Jonas able to slip through and take a nice mark on the defensive 50.
And McKenzie was the man who turned it over again there. So he'll just need a little bit of a spell soon. Tom Jonas with a wonderful mark with courage going back. Had a team high 11 intercepts last week on the Triple MCG with that heartbreaking 6-point loss to the Pies in game number 200. So the 2 captains, Cochin was desperate, and same with Jonas. Bryn Teakle, out of side contested mark on Miller. Great attack on the footy. There's a man inside, it's Butters. Gives it to him via hand, Butters via foot into the pocket, carries the pack. And reading it best there was Gipkis coming into the side tonight. Started on the interchange bench.
They measure it short here, Richmond. The Harvey Norman replay was a bit of collateral damage as Dixon was trying to fold back through. A high ball from the Tigers under pressure. Bolton, it's fisted out of play, and we will have it. No, they're saying it was out on the full.
On the line, please. On the line.
Okay.
Foot on the line.
So Port Adelaide with the footy. Jace Burgoyne. Foot on the line, umpire. Just screaming at Bolton. Puts it up towards the 50 here, Burgoyne. Sweeping across broad. Mark not paid. Ball spills to the ground, but there's yellow jumpers everywhere. But one of them was under huge pressure, Ross. And the umpire said it was illegal pressure from Butters in the back.
Butters buried his head in the turf. Umpire was right there and played a free kick. Getting busy early is Cochin on the Reds Head lending stat sheet. Had a few so far. Finds Rewald at half forward. He elects to go to a 1-on-1 of the goal square. Hold. There's a hold of the goal square. It's going to go the way of Lynch. McKenzie again just panicked.
They've got to make the change now. That's three one-on-one contests, and Lynch has outbodied him, outmanoeuvred him 3 times now. Trent McKenzie, I think it might be time for Jonas to go back there or Aaliyah. You don't want Tom Lynch to get his back up and have a huge impact on this game.
So the free kick, I reckon, was there. We're going to have a look on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. He's 4th in the competition for free kicks, Tom Lynch. He picks up a lot. This one directly in front. You can almost put it down in your footy record, no doubt. So they've got 2 of the Tigers, and they've hit the front. 2-1-13, they lead by a point. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Rock's right. The move has to be made. That's his 3rd shot on goal in the last probably 3 minutes. Obviously, kicked the one out of bounds on the full. 1 goal, 1. The last person you want on fire in the first quarter is Tom Lynch, because he's using his size to his advantage. And because he's so much bigger, Mackenzie has to actually grab and take his eye off the ball, which makes it an easy job for the umpire, holding free kick. So you think Aaliyah would go to him, Rob?
Yeah, I think it was an interesting call to leave Cleary out now. He matches up, I think, better against Lynch. He's that bigger body, where Mackenzie's a lot better and a lot quicker on the lead, but they left Cleary out and went with Mackenzie, so I think it has to be Jonas.
And Richmond's transition then was far too easy. They'd be feeling good about the way they're moving the ball across the field from defence to forward as well.
Sean Burgoyne and Tommy Rockcliffe ripping this game apart on Triple M footy. We're back in the middle. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Just looking in the back play. Is he still on Lynch, boys? Mackenzie, it looks like he is at this point.
Yep.
Rucks go at it. So Miller will get the free kick. It was against Finlayson. He's short for the Tigers, sending it long. Oh, gee, some bodywork. Revolt. Here's Bolton. He's going to have a snap from the boundary, and he's pushed it right. And it's a minor score. 2-2-14 Richmond, 2 straight 12 Port. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Played nearly 16 minutes opening term.
So one thing Bolton doesn't do elite is his goal kicking. If he kicks straight, it'd be unstoppable.
That's his 86th shot for the year.
Unbelievable year he's having. No doubt you can lock him in for the All-Australian. Just consistent as well, Shy Bolton. Oh, Miller from the kick in was strong. One-on-one contested mark against Finlayson, brought it down. So having a run in the ruck now, Miller. Now on the outer side, little kick to Baker, uncontested. No one on the mark, so he just dumps it in the pocket again. Rio goes to the front. Lynch contests, Aaliyah spoils. We'll get a boundary throw in. So Tigers by 2 points.
If you're Richmond and it's a held-up ball, get away from Tom Lynch. Isolate him. Let him be 1v1. Don't come over and bring your man into the play, because that's what they did in Port. Aaliyah was able to come off and spoil it, but just isolate Lynch right now because he's hot.
Pagan's paddock.
Yes.
Sean Burgoyne and Tommy Rockcliffe tonight throw in under the old scoreboard. Cathedral end here at the Adelaide Oval. Ross, a nice little handball to Bolton from an even tighter angle. Have a look at this. Oh, he's hit the post. Gee, that was a nice little bend about it. Not quite enough. The Tigers out by 3 points. 2-3-15 Richmond. 2 straight 12 Port. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So Finlayson bolted for that kick on the outer side. Footy spent a lot of time out there. There's Bergman. They tried to square it up. Bergman, oh no, there's a smother on the mark. The pressure that the Tigers were providing, the turnover, it ended up with Lynch, who went back towards Rewalt, who's still 55 from home. He wants to go short again. Cochin blocks for Rioli. Rioli not paid. Still in dispute now at ground level. Cumberland went past the footy. It's going to go back to Cochin. Immediately set upon. Now McIntosh. Wobbly ball inside from Prestia. It's on the deck. Burne-Jones under heat. Just gets boot to ball. And now Amon's going to try and run it. Had a touch of the fumbles, couldn't gather. Spent it before he had it. Close to the boundary line in front of the forward pocket. Trying to bust his way through Jack Graham. Couldn't get through. Somehow the ball makes its way to the wing. Tarrant steaming at it, gathers. Puts Prestia under the palm. Hung on to though. In fact, it wasn't Prestia, it was Jack Graham. Back into the pocket they go. The Tigers are relentless. The pressure's up. Prestia now gathers it. He was trying to get boot to ball. Push. Pound Pepper pushed him up against the boundary line. Gave away a free kick. How'd you see it?
I thought it was there. I thought the umpire was right. The one ball was 10 metres away.
Dion Prestia's a long way from home though. He's right up on the boundary where the 50-metre marker joins it on the members' wing. So look for a lead. Just puts it in the path. It couldn't quite get to Lynch. It spills over the back and trickles over the goal line for a minor. So Port Adelaide a 2 straight 12. The Tigers are 2-3-15. It's a 3-point lead on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Just Red Z lending stats. Presti is up to 9 disposals, 5 contested possessions, leading ball winner on the ground.
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. Here's Butters for Port Adelaide. Working it from the defensive 50, but too easy there. It was Revolt coming through, got rid of Rosie. Delivered short to Cochin. 65 from home. Richmond at 2-4. Port Adelaide 2 straight. Cochin lowers the eyes. Hits the kick. Gets it to Jack Ross. Got him from 55. He's going to launch a very long ball. He's going right to the spot. He nails the goal from long range. Bit of bodywork on the line from Lynch to help it through. And it is the Tigers. They are 3-4-22. Port Adelaide 2 straight 12. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We got Sean Burgoyne and we got Tom Rockcliffe on Triple M footy.
That's a really good goal. You know, he took the mark and rolled and then kicks a goal from 50. But the last probably 4 or 5 minutes, Port Adelaide got a touch of the nerves in the fumble. The Richmond pressure now is becoming a bit too much for him right now. We just saw the kick into the man on the mark over there before. The ball just spills to the hottest man on the game right now, Tom Lynch. And then Karl Amon picks the ball up, 10 metres in the clear and fumbles it. So they're starting to get that perceived pressure now, and then they can't accept the ball out of the defensive 50, Rob.
You're exactly right. The perceived pressure is what it's about now. They're not necessarily tackling. They've only had 4 tackles, Richmond, but that's what it's about at the moment. Port Adelaide look a little bit panicked, and on the Red Z lending stats as well, they've had 12 inside 50s now, Richmond, to 4 for Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide should have had a ruckman on the line who would have touched that ball.
7.5 gone, left, I should say, in this first term. Tigers by 10 points. Real arm wrestle. Cracking game so far. Pepper comes through. Tries to intercept, knocks it to the ground. And you're right, Sean, we've got a good look there on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Should have had a ruckman there. Yep. The new Google Pixel 6a available now at Harvey Norman. Plus receive a bonus $150 gift card.
Out of the stoppage, Pau Pepper put a tackle on Sonzi. Umpire's going to run in ball up.
Well, that's the attention to detail, Biggles. That's what's dropping away at the moment with Port Adelaide. If your attention to detail's there, you'd have a ruckman on the line who will touch the ball.
So ball in dispute. We're still in the centre square area, and Boak, he's wrapped up.
That's the difference at the moment. Richmond are able to absorb that pressure, lock the ball in, get a stoppage, where Port Adelaide have been coughing it up.
Tom Rockcliffe there with Sean Burgoyne tonight. Here's Teakle stepping through, delivering a handball to Burton. He touches on the ground. He's going to go long range. Puts it right to the dangerous spot. Dixon sets himself. Bergman waited at the front. Dixon followed up. Tigers bring some ground pressure. McEntee got the handball to Amon. Now Farrell back to Amon, but they're retreating here, Port. They're outside their 50 now. Amon, a little blind turn to get on the left boots. Good. Delivery great. Finds Dersma. And the X-Man will go back. City end goal. 45-degree angle, about 40 out.
I think he was kicking the ball to Robbie Gray there on that kick, Karl Amon, and Dersma just read the flight a bit easier. But like we said before, when Port Adelaide kicked that goal, this is a crunch goal.
Yeah, they
shot on goal, sorry.
They need this one to stay in touch, as silly as that sounds. Only 21 minutes into the game, and they're not that far behind. They're only 10 points, but it feels like a lot more at the moment.
So Dersma, City end goal. 2 straight Port Adelaide. He lines it up. He likes it. There's the bow and arrow delivering. So it's 3 straight Port Adelaide. They're 18. The Tigers are 3-4-22. It's a 4-point margin to Richmond. Let's head to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane. Teammates on the boundary.
Yeah, that was far better from Port Adelaide there. Just you talked about the pressure points at stoppage and contest, which have been hard to watch, I guess, from a Port Adelaide person watching. But they were far more composed there, and they were able to use the ball, like you saw with Karl Amon. But I just wanted to touch on the actual contest, where it feels like Richmond are just setting up with a bit more structure around the back of the stoppage and around the back of like long balls and contests. So they keep kicking it to these contests, or they still have the stoppages. Port Adelaide are leaving 6 forwards away from the contest and allowing Richmond's wing and half backs to actually creep in there and be used on a number of occasions. So anyway, boys, just thought I'd break it down for you there.
Bob Jane, teammates look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today. bobjane.com.au.
From McDonald's Arena Hot Water, Triple M rocking footy at the Adelaide Oval. That was unbelievable work there from the big Nank. Got his own hit out, then the clearance to the outer side. They then came back through the centre circle. Rioli getting involved. That's Daniel. A hospital handball, though. Put his teammate Cochin under all sorts. And a half forward. Amon tried one out of the air. Little Ronaldo, fresh airy. Couldn't quite connect. He goes back and helps out, though. Bergman helps out with a little kick over top. Pau Pepper with some strong offensive run. He's looking sharp, the Pep. Around the corner. Into the pocket he goes. What's Willem Drew doing down there? Not a tall target. Comes back to Ollie Wines. Shot on goal from directly in front. It was an up and under kick. It hasn't got the accuracy. Just sprays it from the Brownlow medalist. And that's their first blemish. 3-1-19 the Power. 3-4-22. Richmond 3-point lead. Triple M Beaker Trade scoreboard.
Should have given the handball there. Teakle's all by himself running in. Just give it to the spare player. Runs an extra 10 metres and has the easier shot on goal.
You know the team rules, never handball to a ruckman.
Floston played on, got it across to Prestia. Little over the top handball back to Floston. He goes down the line. Nice Mark Miller. True centre wing, looking inboard, finding a target as well. Then Curvis works it to the other side of the ground. Baker with the footy. Tigers looking to build from here. 3-4 to 3-1. Nice bullet ball to Lynch, but he's long range. 60 from home. He's had a good start to the game. 1-1 Lynch. Comes in. Little chipping ball. Baker got around onto the left boot. It was a shallow kick though on Amon. He's able to take the mark more or less on his knees, sliding in to take that.
He's there quick to call him to play on. He found Boak, who swung around, and Farrell's got 2 to beat. Pretty tough challenge, that one. Vlosten was one of them. And also Daniel Rioli, who gathers the footy. He spots up half forward, but his kick though is picked off by Houston. And he's been sharp down Houston since his inclusion tonight, averaging 22 disposals and 6 marks across his season. And last week was the only game he's missed for the year. Vital component of this Port Adelaide lineup. To the skipper, Jonas. They make their way across defensive 50. They go out to the outer side. Willem Drew. Slow play. And Jace Burgoyne uses the ball well. Just drops short slightly though. Butters picks it up, gathers, forward handball over top. Boak's under pressure. Vlosten got him. Now we've got a turnover at half back. Can Port keep it in the area? Pickett dives in. Boak goes again. Just gets it out. Taps between his legs. And then Rosie. He keeps the play going. Butters high. No. Jace Burgoyne into attacking 50. Teagle couldn't bring it down. McIntosh with the late closing spoil. The Tigers going to run it out now. They've got numbers.
Yeah, when it hits the deck, they certainly get numbers and get it moving. Here's Miller for the Tigers. They're sweeping back now. Goes inboard. Gets the footy to Dion Prestia. Through centre wing. Richmond lead it by 3 points. Under 3 minutes left opening term. Prestia goes short. McIntosh just standing by himself. And he's looking for the next link in the chain. It's a short lead up. Doesn't use it. It's from Jack Graham. Now he just unloads a big long footy. Looking for, it was Cumberland who flew first. Lynch at the back. Cochin got boot to ball. Here's Butters for Port. Houston. They're under a bit of pressure here, Port Adelaide, but he gets it out of the 50. Tigers have got some numbers. Ground level support comes now. Little toe poke, Robbie Gray off the deck. Finlayson, but straight to Broad. Umpire says play it on, and Broad squares it back up to Vlosten.
We're going to go through the corridor. Vlosten didn't like the option of Ross, so elects to go out wide to Baker. They go really wide now. Baker missed the kick. Had Pickett leading up and just pitched in front of the boundary, and we've got a boundary throw out of side. So Richmond lead by 3 points.
Richmond are just getting better shape on the ball. When the ball kicked long, hits the ground, they've got 2 or 3 numbers, and then they get it, and then they're transitioning it far too easy at the moment. They'd be feeling really good about the way they can transition the ball from one side of the field to the other, or back line into their forward line.
2 minutes left in the first term. Boundary throwing. Centre wing. Nankervis, big fist to the front. Ollie Wines tried to barge his way through. Teakle's follow-up was terrific though. We can run in the ruck. If you've just joined us, back into the team. Ollie Wines in the centre of the ground has some runners. One of those is the X-Man Dersma. Lets the ball bounce. Backs himself. Tried to go on his right. Didn't have a left. McIntosh shut him down. Now we've got a turnover ball, Graham. Oh, nice little tap on. That was brilliant. Sonzi to McIntosh. Sensational tap work. And now they've found Lynch at half forward. Tigers are getting things humming. Lynch squares it up, has Rioli. But Rosie, outstanding work with his eyes on the footy and saves it. But in the switch, the kick is not great. And the outer side, Miller's going to have a look at it.
Really courageous there. That's really courageous. You start on ball of going back in front of the opposition's full forward, putting his body in, exposed himself, his ribs as well, with it fully stretched. Really courageous.
Sean Burgoyne there with Tom Rockcliffe tonight for Seabar Super. We'll have it thrown in. Richmond lead it by 3 points, 22-19. Throw in 52 metres around for the Tiger goal. Port with some numbers. Boak to Drew. Gets it working up to half forward. Just past centre wing, in fact. Here's Baker, though, at ground level. Free kick, advantage Richmond. Oh, McIntosh had a little juggler, but he completes it in the centre square area. And a run supplied by Tarrant. Oh, this is an interesting ball. He bit off a bit more than he could chew, and Byrne-Jones for Port came sweeping through.
Here it is. It's really making a turnover style of play. We've just had 2 in 2 minutes, and now a third as the kick to the outer side is read best by Vlosten. And he takes it at its highest point. Coming to the back of 19 disposals and 9 marks versus the Lions. Vlosten, and influential so far tonight as well. So dying stages first term. Vlosten to half forward. Nankervis sat under it. Brent Teagle goes back, gathered the footy, then was tackled. Rioli Spark at ground level. Turn inside and out. Bolton! Great mark at half forward on the chest. He's got such strong elevation when he flies at the footy.
I think Ollie Wines would like to have his last two kicks back, both unpressured, and he's turned both kicks over. Bolton gets this shot on the transition because Ollie Wines misses his target, and the Richmond get the transition back the other way.
Sits 20th on the Coleman, Shea Bolton, off the back of 2 goals and 12 score involvements, as Shawnee Burgoyne said. That is ridiculous. Picked up 9 coaches' votes, best on ground versus the Lions on quarter time to give the Tigers a 9-point lead. It's on his journey. Has he got the accuracy? Certainly does. Absolute star, Bolton. Tigers out by 9, right on quarter time.
Quarter time at the Adelaide Oval, around the grounds for RAA. Ensure with the locals today. GMHBA Stadium's where it's at. It's the Cats and the Saints. Geelong lead at halfway through the second quarter there to the tune of 22 points. Quarter time here at the Adelaide Oval. Richmond lead it by 9 points, 4-4-28. Port Adelaide 3-1-19. Back with Tommy Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne. They'll take you through the opening term. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
catch a quarter pounder range meal and score a free Macca's glass. Start collecting today.
Triple M is your passport to good times and greatest hits. We've already given away tickets to the Killers, the Chili's and a trip to Fiji. And still to come, one lucky bugger's going to go to Melbourne to see Billy Joel and have a fancy dinner. Pick the mystery voices.
Oopsie. Melodies.
That's what me mother always said.
Who are you? Whoa.
And you could be boarding a plane to the trip of a lifetime. Back Monday, 8 a.m. with Roo, Jits and Loz. Thanks to Fiji Airways, flying you to the Hilton Fiji Resort and Spa.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Peter Shearer Menswear is the brand with the brands and will always price match on identical items. But most of all, our staff are helpful, honest and understand all body shapes are unique. petershearer.com.au. Peter Shearer Menswear, always ahead of the game.
How can you be distinctive? What if your house, an affordable boutique home with striking features, was created by you? Step ahead of the rest with distinctive homes. Be inspired by our online catalogue. From 40 top designs, you can pick all your favorite elements to create your dream distinctive home. Come and meet the team or view the online catalogue at distinctivehomes.com.au.
Do you want to win the value of your car service back? At North Point Toyota, just book your next service online, and one lucky person per month has the chance to have the cost of their service paid back. All you have to do is book online at northpointtoyota.com.au, and you'll be automatically entered into the draw to win the value of your car service back. It's the North Point way. Hillcrest, Prospect, Port Augusta, or northpointtoyota.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia. The CombiWave by Breville, featuring air fry technology, is just $679, save $70, plus bonus cooking pack. Bonus coffee starter pack with Barista Express Impress from Breville, only $8.99. Or Breville Smart Oven Pizzaiolo with bonus pizza pack and create authentic pizzas at home. Now $9.99. Bonus fire redemption. Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia.
We Can Be Heroes. The music of David Bowie orchestrated. Featuring a 28-piece symphony orchestra. With special guest vocalists performing David Bowie's greatest hits. October 6th at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book your Bowie orchestrated tickets now from Her Majesty's Theatre or Ticketek.
Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you.
It looks really good.
Triple M rocks footy on Adelaide's 104.7.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Foxtel. 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
Quarter time, Adelaide Oval. Richmond with a 9-point lead of Bolton on the siren goal, extending that margin there. 4-4-28. Port Adelaide a 3-1-19 for McDonald's at Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. We've got Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe to give us their thoughts on the opening term.
Yeah, I think that first quarter belonged to Richmond. They were certainly on top. They just couldn't finish their work in the end. They went inside 50 16 times to Port Adelaide 7, and they just controlled the game. It was played in their front half. They used it really well. Towards the back end of that quarter, the last 3 or 4 stoppages, Port Adelaide actually made the move and went to wing on. So their skinny winger on the ground, who normally plays in the sweeper position, he actually changed to the other side of the contest to even that up. Ebo spoke about it a little bit earlier on in the quarter, how Port Adelaide have pulled all their forwards back. So they've just matched that winger now. So it potentially opens the front of the stoppage up for Richmond moving forward. But one of Port Adelaide's midfielders will try and cover that. But they made the change as the quarter went on.
Well, I think it's only a 9-point lead to Richmond, but it feels like it's a lot bigger because they controlled this game from the first centre bounce, Nankervis to Cochin inside 50, and I think Lynch was on the end of one of them. So I think they've controlled the whole quarter. Port Adelaide were lucky to hold it. And then we spoke about the midfield mix of Port Adelaide, and you said it wasn't right. It looks better when Willem Drew's in there because, Prestige had the 12 and Cochin's had the 11, and Bolton's looks really dynamic and explosive in there. So I think Willem Drew needs to be in there more than not. He needs to attend those centre bounces because Richmond are looking really dangerous in there, and Nankervis is having a big impact around the stoppages and in play as well.
Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe there for C-Bus Super, making hard work pay off. Really giving us some great insights into this game tonight. Richmond lead it by 9 points. Second term about to get underway. Here's Red Biglands on Triple M footy.
Now, Brent Teakle will start this second term in at the centre bounce, and the Tigers have led at quarter time in 15 of their 21 games this year. That is quite remarkable. Only Melbourne have got anywhere near that. So they normally start well, the Tigers, and I'm pretty sure no team would like to meet them in September either if they can get into the finals.
Just looking at Ebo's old man down there, just walking through with a couple of beers.
Yeah, old Craig just high-fiving the whole crowd. That is a bit of head swagger there. You don't usually see that from the Fiery. He is shaking many hands as he gets to his seat. Great to see. He's a tough man, as tough as Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask a plumber to install a Ream. So Teakle eyeing off Nankervis. Big Nank's going to line him up. Go straight through him. He tried to put it down, Willem Drew, but Bolton gather. Speed, electric. How he picks that off the ground. So good, Bolton. With the clearance, Ross has the footy. Into attacking 50 they go. Burn-Jones, clever little tap on to aim on. Ollie Wines has got back. Now Ryan Burton into Willem Drew. Trying to square it up. This is better from Port. Did a run and carry. Oh, the kick though. I'm going to say that. Butters turns it over. He had plenty of options, missed them all.
Daniel Rioli came through. Got it to McIntosh for Richmond. He finds Revolt at 70. Maybe 60 over the top. Just too easy. Able to roll on Jack Ross, and he'll go back and have a shot. 45-degree angle, about 45 out.
Same thing again for Port Adelaide. We spoke about it with Ken Hinkley in the pre-game. Their offence, it just breaks down and they turn the ball over in a dangerous position on the ground. Richmond too good to turn the ball over in the corridor. Zach Butters had options short and long. He decided to go short. He had Rosie by himself inside 50 and turned the footy over, and now Richmond have got the set shot.
So when he comes, Ross. He kicked a long-range bomb in the opening term. Kick on the way. There's a way to the left. It just didn't have quite enough behind it. Goal square stuff. Burn-Jones does the work, but straight back to where it came. Ross could have take two. He elects to sizzle one sideways, gets it to short.
He can make the distance short. He's got a very long leg on him, and instantly Rioli and the boys around in McIntosh point to the goal and said, have a shot.
So short with a long leg as he comes in. Runs to 53. Have a look at that roost. He's just missed it away to the right, but he had plenty of juice behind that. It's a 10-point Richmond lead, 29-19. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL, only available on Foxtel.
Jaden Short, he's good at bringing that ball inside forward 50, sits 10th in the competition in that category. So from the re-entry, Finlayson tried to take a one-hander, but Baker grabbed it at ground level as soon as he spilt the mark. Spots up Cochin, one of the most decorated players to play the game, Trent Cochin. Centre half forward, into the pocket he goes, looking for Lynch. Bolton over the top. It does get over the top, but spills to the back of the pack and we'll get a boundary throw in the city end, right alongside the Tiger point post. So they lead by 10 points, early days, second term.
They just look a lot more set in their offense and defence at the moment at Richmond. Port Adelaide look to be scrambling a bit more and trying to get themselves set.
Yeah, they let Daniel Rioli go again as well. He got a goal in that opening term from being able to sweep through, and he was at exactly the same spot. No one with him in that little part of change. And we'll have a free kick going here to Port Adelaide, but Rioli, he is able to slip under the guard. Port with the footy, deep in defence. Houston. Tigers by 10 points. She's going to make Dixon work here. It's off his arm and rolls out of play. They'll have it thrown in.
Dixon already has a couple tonight.
Thank you.
2 goals for Port Adelaide. They trail by 10 points. In the last 5 games between these two sides, it's been Richmond, Port, Richmond, Port, Richmond. And on that basis, it should be Port's turn tonight. But we'll see how this one unfolds. Cracking game so far.
Port Adelaide, high tackle.
Trust you're enjoying our coverage on Triple M. Free kick's going to go to Bryn Teakle. The half back from the ruck infringement. Kenny Hinkley's a big rap for this man, and why wouldn't you be after that busted collarbone in his first 30 minutes of AFL footy? Mid-season draft pick. Kicks to half forward. Dixon can't get a run up. Loston was good in the air. Carl Amon though at ground level. Wobbled one forward. Steaming out Finlayson, but his handball was partially smothered by Rioli. Oh, in all sorts of trouble. Tarrant didn't have a left foot. It was forced onto his right. Oh, the umpire realised it was a dodgy kick rather than being deliberate in front of the old score. We'll get a boundary throw in.
He was pushed as he got kicked, as he kicked the ball there. I think the crowd were trying to invent something.
Great forward pressure from Finlayson though to affect that kick and get a stoppage inside 50 for Port Adelaide.
Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe tonight for Seabus. Throw in. Deep 50 here for Port. Dixon working overtime. He's wrapped up by a couple of Tigers. McIntosh and Pickett. And we'll have a ball up inside the 50 here for Port. Richmond with a 10-point lead. Dixon trying some ruck work. It fell to Ollie Wines. He had a snap out of the congestion. It bounces, it rolls, and it's out in the left forward pocket at the Cathedral end. We'll have it tossed in.
The Tigers by 10 points.
Let him run out, let him run.
Boundary throwing in front of the forward pocket. Port looking to get organised. Where's the dangerous Robbie Gray? Butters and Rose into the defensive side. Ollie Wines at the front. That's who Dixon looked for. Went to the front. Couldn't get the numbers there. So is that high on Prestia or holding the ball?
Holding the ball.
So Finlayson wrapped up Prestia, who tried to run through 3 of them. The umpire said you had too long. And he dumped it as well. Dropped it. Incorrect disposal.
Yeah, fair enough on the Harvey Norman replay there. He got tackled and the ball just came out in the tackle. So definitely the free kick was there.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay, the new Google Pixel 6a. It's available now at Harvey Norman. Plus receive a bonus $150 gift card. So Finlayson directly in front. Normally a very reliable shot on goal. The left foot up. Tell me he hasn't missed that. He hasn't. So he just sneaks it in. Vital goal. Very important goal for Port Adelaide. They're back within 4 points. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
It's a vital goal for them. And you just mentioned before, good pressure on Tarrant on the previous exit of the 50, and then he backs it up with another good tackle. And, you know, that's why they brought in Teakle, to have him in the forward line, because he's a good kick for goal.
Yeah, we spoke about the forward half pressure being important for Port Adelaide tonight. We know Richmond like to handball back there. They're the best in the competition at running it out with their hands. And he made the umpire do a fair bit of work there. And the goal umpire, Finlayson, he was only around 12 metres out, but he just snuck it in on the Harvey Norman replay there.
There wasn't a lot of excitement about it all, was there? One of the quietest Port Adelaide goals you'll hear for a while. It's a 4-point Richmond lead. As you heard from Tommy Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne, it's what they needed, Port. We're back in the middle for McDonald's and Remont Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Boak at ground level. Teakle overran it. Tigers with some numbers. Prestia a squeezing ball forward. Bounced onto the chest of Revolt. Chance here. Morris Rioli had some pressure coming from Dersma. Rioli now, they jump on him. Wines was good. Got the Sharon out to Burton. Tumbles one to the outer side. Oh, gee, Tarrant. Now, Farrell, this will be interesting. Harvey Norman replay. Tarrant was over it. Farrell collected him head on. Is there anything more of this or just a free kick? Oh, no, just, what do you think, boys? Pretty light on?
Yeah, just a free kick. Settle down there, Yoda.
Oh, just getting a bit excited. It looked a bit worse through these close-up binoculars. They bring you right into the action, Rocky, I can tell you. They're footy inside the 50. Here's Boak. Now Wines. Handball. Here's Houston.
Brent Yates running with the World War II binoculars, giving him inside info that we can't see. Tarrant was sneezed on. He reckons he should have been rubbed out for a couple of weeks. Farrell, who'd have thought? So the ball ping-pong back and forth on the outer side. Houston again takes the mark, assesses his options. One of those is short, but it was ill-directed to that man, Farrell. Another boundary thrown out of side. So 15 minutes left in this second term. 4-point leaders, the Tigers.
Again, really good defensive structure by Richmond. Houston couldn't go long because they got the spare, so they got to kick it short and they turn it over. So Richmond are just getting the ball and locked into their forward half, and the game's played on their terms.
Tiku and Nank got a long way back from the throw-in. Big Nank comes steaming in and just whacks it to his defensive side, looking for Prestia. Missed him though. Now a high up and under kick from Travis Boak. Oh, massive launch, Pickett. Sky high. Not sure if he touched it. The umpire said it was okay, though legitimate. They still make their way to half forward. And that's the power, of course, going forward. Wobbly kick there from Finlayson. Not sure what he was trying to do. Partially smothered. Broad gets back. And as Broad tried to kick around the corner, he kicked wayward out of bounds on the full. Jace Burgoyne, is he going to have a shot?
Well, you got Finlayson and Carl Amon grabbing the ball, two left footers, and you got Jace, who's a right footer. So if they were smart, they'd run away the lefties and leave a right footer there.
It's Uncle Sean talking.
That's footy 101, because
stat for his nephew, who kicked the clutch goal in MCG last week. I reckon that would have got a bit of chicken skin on Sean's neck last week. That goal from Jace. The left footer, Finlayson, in the wrong pocket, as said, and this one will just scrape in. Already has one snag tonight, and that is a minor. So we are 4-2-26, Port Adelaide, 4-5-29, the Tigers, 3-point lead, Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
So Tigers by 3 points.
Play on.
Loston with the footy. Gains some metres, then releases. Going in the revolt direction. Burgoyne with a big fist over the back. Bergman ground level, had it, lost it. Prestia got boot to ball, tumbled and rolled. Houston came sweeping through and then sort of stepped through him nicely and delivered to half forward to Amon. A little more purpose here with Port Adelaide. Nice little lead up happening, but a strong fist from behind by Tarrant. And it's out of play. It was Robbie Gray, the man on the lead up. We'll have it thrown in. Actually, might take you down to Ebo for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, boys, just at ground level, it looks as if there's been that shift in pressure and shift in, composure. So all that Port Adelaide needs to do to tidy this up is just to finish off their work. But at the moment, it just feels like Richmond are rushing a few things, which is, I guess, uncharacteristic for them.
Great stuff, Ebo, from Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts look after you. Buy three, get one free. Get one free plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 132625 or online today, bobjane.com.au. And from that stoppage, Travis Boak swung around, put it into the pocket in the path of Charlie Dixon, who was diving for it. Oh, desperate though, the spoil as it came in late. Baker was brilliant, getting a fist over the boundary and a throw in inside the forward pocket.
So Dixon's going to contest the ruck. Richmond by 3 points. Saturday night footy. Throw in. Dixon got the tap down to the front. Prestia. He's bought his own footy on the Red Z lending stats tonight. Gets it working out of defence for the Tigers. Lynch put a bit of body on Jonas. Jonas went back and put a bit of body on Lynch. Revolt pushed in the back by Rosie. Umpire runs in.
It's going to be an interesting one to see on the Harvey Norman replay. He went to the ground pretty easy there, Jack.
Yeah, he's been watching the Commonwealth Games, hasn't he, Jack?
Tripwire got him.
And a 9.5, yeah. Or a sprinkler.
So Revolt goes inside the 50 just with the footy. Burgoyne puts on a nice tackle on. He's able to hold up Jack Ross. And we'll have a ball up. 45 out from the Richmond goal.
Tigers by 3. Oh, Miller banged out of the way from Powell Pepper. Got a double fist. Ended up with Rewald. He sent to the top of the square. Lynch! Push, but didn't get anywhere near the footy. Gets over the back. Sonsi gathers. Looks for Cochin. Burrows through as he always does. Now Powell Pepper under heat. Rosie Undecided. Durs made trouble. Morris Rioli ran him down from behind and mowed him.
Careful here. Mark is here.
He was having a cup of tea.
Xavier.
He did exactly what Tom Lynch did in the first quarter, Xavier Dursma. He got the ball and he would have seen Rioli coming at him. He just turns his back and tries to take 10 steps. You can't do it when you've got a guy, anyone chasing you, let alone the fastest man in Richmond.
Don't turn your back on Morris Rioli. What a chase down, but the kick's not as good. Just let him down. Smacks into the post. Minor score.
I think Dursma thought I was out there chasing him.
Just got a better awareness, but you grab the ball and you can see Morris is 2 metres on the other side of the ball. Turn your back on him, you think he's not going to tackle you next to the goal square.
Pretty sure Dursma would know if you're chasing him, Rocky. He'd hear the stomach wobbling. No doubt about it.
So Burton, we've got Sean Burgoyne tonight with Tommy Rockcliffe for Seabar Super. Burton brings a footy in. Dixon gave away a holding free kick.
Bolter.
So Noah Bolter in the centre square area. 4 points is the Tiger lead. Gets on with business. Puts a long ball inside 50. Ground level winds. Got it to Burgoyne. Handball nice to Houston, to Rosie. They're under some pressure, but he gets it out of there, Rosie. Nice ball as well. Able to find the chest of Finlayson. Robbie's one out. He's got the advantage too. Oh, the bounce just didn't favour him, and Broad came through with a big fist.
That's very smart by Robbie Gray.
Outside 9.
Now the umpire has paid the free kick to Robbie Gray. So tell us about this. This is the fist deliberately when you're outside range of the goal square.
Yeah, he's rushed a point from too far out, and as soon as he did it, Robbie Gray ran over and pleaded to the umpire and made him aware of it, and the umpire blew the whistle.
Well, there you go. Porter in front. Robbie Gray gets the goal. And it's a 2-point Port Adelaide lead. 5-2-32 Port, 4-6-30 Richmond. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel. Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not Robbie Gray's night. He's had 2 kicked over his head. He was out before, and Carl Amon kicked one right on his head, big knee in the back. Then he's running into an open goal and it bounced back over his head.
Well, one thing that happens is when you kick the ball long and high and the ball bounces, normally it bounces high back up, and that's exactly what it did. Just unfortunately for Robbie, that happened. And I don't actually like that rule when you rush it from 11 or 12 metres out. He was actually under pressure as well, Broad was, but that's the rules, unfortunately, and Robbie gets a goal from the goal square.
The McDonald's Areem Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Port Adelaide back in front. 2 points. 11.5 left in this second term. Finlayson having a run the ruck. That was his kick that went to Robbie Gray too, around the corner. Was brilliant. And he follows up with a tackle. Porter having a moment. So Ben Jones tries to whack one forward, but his hammer went astray. Possibly a turnover, smashing through Cochin. Kamikaze-like. He's done that 3 times tonight, where he has no concern for his head whatsoever.
Well, I think Darcy Byrne-Jones doesn't need to play on there. He's in traffic. There's 4 or 5 players around you. Just give the ball back to Finlayson and steady the ship instead of playing on into traffic.
So footy on the front edge of the goal square. Port Adelaide's end. Short got a quick fire handball across to Graham, who tried to trundle it forward. Morris Rioli puts the clamps on Houston. Footy is stopped in the true centre wing position. The Power with a 2-point lead. Second term action on Triple M footy. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Houston again. And again wrapped up by Rioli. Umpire runs in.
It's a good little battle, that one. Houston and Rioli.
We've been a bit critical of Port Adelaide tonight, but they're actually in front in this game. So if they can get some momentum here, they can blow this game right open and away from Richmond.
The midfield getting a good look at it too, Rocky. Ollie Wines was brilliant via hands. Fed it back. Oh, huge launch. Up and over the top. Gibcus couldn't quite bring it down. Rosie followed up. And now at half back for the Tigers. They look to come through the middle. Ross had some run. Nankervis has think time. Gathers the big man at his toes. Handball wasn't great though. And Houston was just a little overzealous. Pushing in the back to Trent Cochin, who's 65 from home. Got some runners from behind. And one of those is Rioli in the pocket. Takes the mark right on 50, Dan Rioli.
If you're playing in the half-forward line, you're on Daniel Rioli tonight. When Richmond have the ball, run with him. He's getting used in transition, and this could He's already kicked one goal. Could have had another shot. This could be his third shot on goal. They're just letting him run off half-back far too easy.
Great insights from the 400 gamer Sean Burgoyne. Knows all about run-off half-back. So he sits fourth in the AFL for bounces, this man, Dan Rioli. This is going to be on his journey. So he releases from 55, struck it beautifully. It's going to go right there.
Wow.
He's nailed that. Dan Rioli flushed it. Beautiful snag. And Richmond back in front. 4-point leaders. And this is goal for goal here at the Adelaide Oval.
Well, normally when you play on ball, you've got an opponent, and you play forward or back, you've got an opponent. So you get the ball, you know there's going to be someone around you. But at the moment, Richmond get the ball, Rioli runs off, and no one's going with him. So he's like, oh, how good's this? We get the ball, I get to run down the field with no one near me, and I'm getting used, and I'm kicking goals.
Really good finish again. Red Z lending stats here. Presti is up to 15, as you said before. Nine of those contested, and Carl Amon for Port Adelaide. He's had the 13 along with Zach Butters.
Key Red Z lending stats. Thoughts there from Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe tonight. Whose responsibility is it? The player that he's on, or is it someone through the midfield to pick him up while he changes over?
Nah, the player he's on. He's on Zach Butters at this centre bounce. Doesn't mean he was on him before, but he's playing that high half-back role. Really aggressive for Richmond.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. 4-point lead for the Tigers now. Out of the middle, Boak. Gathers, releases. It was a handball to Teakle. He goes over the top. G. Bergman under some Rioli pressure again. That was Morris again. He's really lightning around the contest. Now, little soccer off the deck from Somsey. Nankervis. Here's Dan Rioli getting busy again. Handball over the top to Morris. The two Riolis combine. Little inboard squeezing ball didn't quite work. Oh, Burgoyne nearly had his head ripped off. Free kick going against Revolt. And Jace Burgoyne gets the free.
So Burgoyne picks his head up and screws it back on. Absolutely decapitated by Rewalt. So he strolls away. Beautiful user of the ball out to the outer side. Nankervis, easy as you like. No representation from Teakle, who wasn't watching the footy. Turnover ball again. Back through the middle. Nankervis comes to short. Baker. Members side now. Has an option inside forward 50. And that's Sonzi. The young star right on 50. Right off the back of 20 disposals. He's a ball magnet, this young man. Game just number 4, the only teenager out there for the Tigers. He thinks he might have the journey in him. So he's involved in 6 score involvements on the Triple MCG against the Lions. Takes his approach, gets out on the arc, won't have the distance, lands in the square. Alir gets over the top. Boot to ball from Rewald though. And we're going to get a score review. Is it him or Cumberland who's going to claim it? Let's wait for this one. The umpires will confirm.
The ball was touched. Sure. Score review. All umpires call is a goal. Please check to see if it's touched.
So the ball spills Cumberland with his first disposal of the game. Gets boot to it. Does Darcy Byrne-Jones get any digits on it at all? Had an airy. Went right under the armpits and smelled his Rexona. And that is a goal to the Tigers.
The ball makes contact with the Richmond attacker's boot last before crossing the line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Port faithful aren't happy. Goal of the Tigers. And the NAB Rising Star for this week, Noah Cumberland gets his first of the night. And let's go down and see Ebo for Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, now, while all that action was happening there, Connor Rosie came to the bench and he's just getting his knee assessed by the doctors and physios. So they're all looking a little bit concerned around his left knee. And he doesn't look like he's in the best of, well, he's certainly in some pain, boys. So I'll keep you posted.
That's what frustrates Port Adelaide supporters this year, isn't it, Shawnee? The ball long and high on the goal line pretty much. Just do the little things. Get the ball through. Alir misses it. Tom Jonas misses it. Teakle misses it. It's the little 1%ers that are costing them games. We've seen it a couple of weeks ago. They weren't able to shut the game down at the back end of corners. Little 1%ers like that, they go so far to your winning games.
Tommy Rockcliffe there tonight with Sean Burgoyne for Seabus Super. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. We are back in the middle. The Tigers are back out by 10 points after Port had a 2-point lead. Prestia got a little tap forward. Burton to Gray. Now here's Houston off half back for the power, looking for Powell Pepper, and right with him Baker. And it's out of play right in front of us in the Triple M commentary box.
Well, Big Nank's having some kind of game at the moment. He just smashed that ball 15 metres in the centre bounce. He's getting the ball around the ground. He's winning the ruck taps. They need to do something to curb his influence. You know, Teakle's in there on him now. He's a second game player, but he's got to probably just try to curb his influence on the game.
Might take out their best and fairest, Big Nank, this year. It's been brilliant. Probably Shea Bolton to be close to it as well, but from the stoppage again, he puts the pressure on. Now Willem Drew trying to get out of the clearance. Handballs to Dersma. Realises he's got less time now. Put it to half forward. Great spoil there in the contested situation as they're trying to get out of here, the Tigers. They can't with the hands. Powell Pepper's pressure was great. Now Butters swings it round. Robbie Gray saw something like in the pocket. It was Finlayson, but couldn't get there.
He just stopped.
He stopped.
Yeah, I think he was going back towards goal, and McIntosh intercepts.
Not sure if McIntosh called him out of it.
So down the line, here's Teagle for Port. He had it intercepted. Robbie Gray to Wines. Jim, what was Ollie doing? He had it, tried to show a bit of candy, then he was wrapped up, and here's Byrne Jones. Dangerous sort of ball. Didn't find the target. Rioli sweeping through, and he got it back from Revolt, and he tucked it under the wing. Had a little running bounce. Gave it to Daniel Rioli. He tapped it forward, and Port Adelaide under all sorts of pressure back here, but they stand up nicely. Jace Burgoyne gets it from Alir and delivers.
Got to get around to Butters. The goal-saving tackle and pressure there. And the free kick right in front of the commentary position. Brent Teakle's going to take it. Look to get another look at that tackle from Butters on Triple M Harvey Norman replay. And Teakle to the flank. Oh, Dixon was tripped over. And he's up against Baker. And Liam Baker panicked and just ankle tapped him.
That last inside 50 for Richmond. Daniel Rioli was lurking again for his third goal. Lucky he almost had a shot then.
Big Dicko already has 2 snags. He's at half forward though. Massive pack. Nankervis with the Rock of Gibraltar sitting in the pack. The big moose just pulls it down. He's on fire. Now McIntosh has the run on the outer side. The Tigers will try and gain some territory via their running style, but a kick from McIntosh, not great. Intercept for Byrne Jones to Houston.
So inside 50 ball. Gee, on the end of it, Robbie Gray. Is that 50? No. So just sort of fell in his arms in the end.
It was a beautiful kick from Dan Houston. It had to be pinpoint, had to fall right in that gap, and it did, right on Robbie Gray's chest.
Has he got the leg?
It's a big ask. How far has he got to kick it? Probably 47.
Got to clear the line.
Didn't ask about his short size, Rocky.
Wow.
Questionable though, isn't it?
I think he's a chance.
So here we go. Robbie Gray runs right to that 47-metre mark. Puts it right there. Touch last line. That length query is answered. Fisted through. And a minor score. So the Tigers lead it by 9 points on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Oh, a bit of a brain fade happening from Bolter, but he eventually clears it. He played on and tried to step around, but a nice mark taken here by McKenzie.
And McKenzie was wobbly early. He's bounced back though. Big match-up on Lynch, the star that Lynch is. So he kicks long into the pocket. Nankervis again. Huge pack. Flew at the footy, then gathered at ground level. Outstanding work from the ruckman. Now Prestia soccers off the ground. Bolton has a one-on-one with Burton. He backed Bolton here, but he couldn't gather. Spills out of his hands. Get another boundary throw in. So Richmond by 9 points. We're in the final 5 minutes of this first half, and let's go and see Ebo on the boundary for Bob Jones teammates.
A quick update on Connor Rosie, guys. He's just gone down to the rooms with the doctor, so I'll keep you posted, but things don't look good. Fingers crossed it's just going down to get touched up, and he'll be back up soon, but yeah, doesn't look great.
Great work, Ebo. So Boat to Wines, the old firm combines from the boundary throw in. Wines around the corner. Broad in front of Dixon, and Dicko grinds his teeth. Furious that a mark can be taken in front of him, but Broad was strong. Since 9th in the AFL for rebound 50s, Nathan Broad. It was a big mark in the context of this match. So Prestia to McIntosh. Set upon, ducked his head. No free kick, Wines and Boak. Again to Drew. Sharp, tight handballs. Brent Teakle couldn't gather. Dives over the boundary again. So Richmond by 9 points. Almost 4 minutes left in this first half.
Just back on that Robbie Gray shot on goal. No one on the line shepherding Nank. He spoils it. They did it in the first quarter where they could have shepherded But they could have touched the ball. This time they could have shepherded on the line. So it's cost them 2 goals now, Port Adelaide.
Sean Burgoyne there on Triple M tonight with Tom Rockcliffe. Ball's working toward the line. Prestia came through for Richmond, gathered it, gave it to Ross. He was well tackled, holding the ball. So Drew, both just had the footy, but he elected to take no advantage. Footy goes back to Willem Drew for Port Adelaide. Margin 9 points, Richmond. Drew puts it in the pocket. Finlayson, he tried to work from behind. Bolter at the front spot. Daniel Rioli got it across to Broad, who got it to Baker, who gained some metres, but insufficient intent. Port Adelaide are going to get the footy.
And Willem Drew's going to reload the gun. It's about 90 from home in the outer wing. So the numbers gather in the pocket. Prentique's going to get a look. Nankervis crashes through. Bolter with a big fist. Comes to the front. Travis Boak didn't have a snap. He just controls the footy and finds Bergman right in front of the old scoreboard, about 4 metres in. Tight angle, 45 out. And Bergman unsure what to do. He got this in his repertoire, Rocky?
Tough kick from that pocket, but I don't think he'll kick this one.
So the kiss of death from the pig. He knows his stuff, Rocky. Lives and breathes footy, and a minor score. Would have been a huge goal from Bergman. So the Tigers by 8 points. 2.5 left in the first half.
So Daniel Rioli to take the kick in here for the Tigers. It's an 8-point lead for Richmond.
Play on there, Daniel, play on.
Rioli brings the footy back in. Works it in the Lynch direction. He's up against McKenzie here. Teagle got a little tap in it. Ended up with Drew to Boak. Back to Willem Drew. Dishes off a handball to Wines. Back to Drew again. Another Red Z lending stat. He tumbles it inside 50. Oh, Robbie Gray. Gee, it was interfered with by Broad. No free kick. Fans are seething here at the Adelaide Oval. Here's an opportunity for Ross. The Tigers, he works it up the half forward. Aliir, though, able to drop back and take a nice mark.
Makes that look easy, Aliir going back with the flight in between two Tigers, taking the intercepting mark. So now McEntee, forward handball, Willem Drew. Butters, Jace Burgoyne, 55 out. He loves this sort of kick and goal. Has he got there? He has. The young gun, Jace Burgoyne. 2 goals in 2 weeks. That's a ripper.
Well, he's seen Daniel Rioli do it, so he's thinking, well, if he can do it on the opposition team, why can't I just slide down and kick one unopposed? But Port Adelaide had really good overlap there, and they transitioned the ball through the middle. They went outside, inside, and they didn't blast away because they knew Richmond defenders would be set up. And on Harvey Norman replay, you see Butters, he gets the ball, instead of just going forward, he goes lateral and gives it over to Jace, and Jace hits the 50 on the run.
I'm just keeping an eye on Port Adelaide's forward line. Robbie Gray went and asked a question. He was manhandled, tackled when that footy came in. Big Charlie Dixon's wandered over and given the umpire absolutely both barrels. Unfortunately, that descent rule seems to have just disappeared from the game.
Well, it's cost some teams wins at the start of the year. Now you can actually just give it to them both barrels and nothing happened. Oh, what a farce that was at the start of the year.
Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe. Let's head to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Connor Rosie's back out there. He's been taped up and he's still in the hands of the physios and doctors, though, and he's still complaining, looking as if he's almost hyperextended his knee. But he's back out there, and we'll see if he gets out there soon.
Good stuff, Ebo. Yeah, you can see Connor Rosie really strapped up, as Ebo says, on the Harvey Norman replay. And we'll have a ball up.
Bit of a limp there, isn't there, when he's walking? And it looks like he's heading into the change rooms almost half-time. You would think they'd just rest him up for a bit.
So Bonner is the medical sub for Port Adelaide. We'll wait and see if that activation occurs. There's 1:15 left in the opening half. Bergman for Port. Sweeps a handball to Jonas. Oh, he's held on to it a long, long time. Oh, he was very lucky, but Revolt came in. Here's Boris Rioli with Jace Burgoyne. Have a look at him go at it. Burgoyne did well. The fans appreciated his efforts. And we'll have a ball up. 55 from the Tiger goal.
That was holding the ball on Jonas. I don't know.
7:20.
The umpire must have swallowed the pee out of the whistle or something, but that was 100% holding the ball. The umpire missed that one.
Super lucky Tom Jonas. We're inside the final minute of the second term. Nankervis to the pocket. Kick just landing in front of Miller. Did he touch it? I think he did. So we get a boundary throw in, and there's 45 seconds left to be precise. So it's about 30 out from the Tiger goal. So So is anyone going to pick up Jack Graham at the back of this stoppage? Because the ball's going to end there. Don't worry. It gets through. Here it is, Jack Graham on cue. Couldn't quite get the handball away. They shut him down. Burn-Jones was good enough to get there. McKenzie to power Pepper. Running back towards his goal, though. Defensive goal, that is. Gets the kick away. Oh, up by an early Rioli. Dan Rioli had a massive launch. Too much hang time. His ears popped. Couldn't bring it down, though. Have a look at this. On the replay, went with one arm. If he had to rip that in, that would have been a massive contender.
So a 2-point Tiger lead inside their 50. Burn-Jones wrapped up by Cochin. He got away with it too. Bolton busts through, snaps around, City end goal, gets it. He's got a couple for the night. And the Tigers are out by 8 points. 7-6-48 Richmond, 6-4-40 Port. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard. Tom Rockcliffe, Sean Burgoyne on Triple M footy.
There's 3 seconds to go on the clock. We've spoken about Port Adelaide. The little things in games are costing them at the moment. Now they've given up another red time goal. It's just sometimes in footy, the smallest things are the biggest things. The attention to detail, the little 1%ers, and you spoke about it before. They didn't get that ball through on that long shot. They kicked the goal off the ground, and then at the other end of the ground, we've seen no one on the goal line of Shepherd, and then that one, they've given up a goal. Bolton kicks a goal with about 3 seconds to go on the clock. They've just got to be able to shut the game down there.
Well, Burn-Jones needs to pick that ball up. He didn't want to pick it up, and then he picked it up and got tackled, and then coughs it up. So just hold the ball, get a stoppage.
We're going to get a siren here for McDonald's Areem Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Shea Bolton, what a star he is. Lights up the Adelaide Oval and puts the Tigers out by 8. They'll let it 9 points at quarter time. Cracking game here on Triple M.
So it's half time. It's an 8-point lead to Richmond, 7-6-48. Port Adelaide, 6-4-40. And we'll be back to get all the good oil from Tom Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne. Richmond by 8 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Foxtel, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
For Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
He's 72 years old, but it's like he's missed the memo on that.
Literally, I walk around and stomp around on 7-inch Dragon boots that each weigh about as much as a bowling ball.
Wow. And he's still got it.
We can't wait to come back and show you what the word big actually means, because your girlfriend has been lying to you. Size doesn't.
Ahead of hitting the Entertainment Centre on August 30 with Kiss, Gene Simmons chats with Rue Ditz and Loz on Monday. With pearls of wisdom aplenty.
Well, the more I play with it, the bigger it gets.
On Adelaide's Triple M.
Your expensive overseas holiday has been upgraded to an Australian-made Dave Benson caravan.
As a proud South Australian company, Dave Benson Caravans only stock Australian-made caravans and camper trailers. And unlike expensive holidays, your caravan remains an asset. Dave Benson Caravans, Australia's largest indoor caravan showroom and your one-stop caravan shop, sales, service and parts. Visit Grand Junction Road, Kilburn or daveBensonCaravans.com.au.
The sea. The marina. The atmosphere. The award-winning bar. The functions. The big screen. The sports bar. The Sailmaster. Be entertained by the water. The Sailmaster at North Haven.
It's time for tackling claims with RAA Comprehensive Car Insurance. We've seen some big bumps out there. Rushed behinds. And white line fever in car parks.
Watch out for the trolley!
But while people hit the post, the team at RAA Insurance tackle the claims right here in SA. Get an RAA Comprehensive Car Insurance quote today and
keep on moving on.
T's and C's apply. Consider the PDS and T&D. Product issued by RAA Insurance. Available from RAA.
Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer. Get the new Google Pixel 6a 128GB for $0 upfront when you sign up to a new Optus $69 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months. Plus, receive a bonus $150 Harvey Norman gift card. Offer ends August 8. Minimum cost $1,650. Not available with other offers. In-store only. Cancellation fees, terms and conditions apply. Visit Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer.
Go, Harvey, go!
We Can Be Heroes. The music of David Bowie Orchestrated. Featuring a 28-piece symphony orchestra. With special guest vocalists performing David Bowie's greatest hits. October 6th at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book your Bowie Orchestrated tickets now from Her Majesty's Theatre or Ticketek.
Looking for a beer to take on the water? Or how about off-road? 0.0% alcohol. Full taste. Introducing Great Northern Zero.
If your roof or gutter is leaking more than the opposition defence, talk to the roofing experts and find it at your local Fielders branch.
Too good! Clever!
Triple M rocks footy on Adelaide's 104.7.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you.
Oh, yes, half-time here at the Adelaide Oval. Saturday night footy, and it's the Tigers by 8 points, 7-6-48, Port Adelaide 6-4-40. We've got a big team in looking at this game for you tonight. Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe with all the special comments. Also got Brad Ebert on the boundary for Bob Jane teammates, and Rhett Biglands joins me in commentary tonight. It's the half-time break for Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you. Tommy Rockcliffe, Sean Burgoyne, opening half. What did you make of it all? Richmond with an 8-point lead.
Yeah, Richmond with a better team, but Port Adelaide have been able to hang in there, and they haven't been blown away yet. But as we spoke about, it's just those little things that continue to let them down. They should be able to knock the ball through on that long shot or little things like that, not giving up a goal with 3 seconds to go. So the first half probably belonged to Richmond. They've had the 30 inside 50s on the Red Z lending stats to Port Adelaide's 20. So they've had 10 more, but they've had the 13 scoring shots to 10 as well. And they've just been a little bit more efficient with the ball in hand. They're going at 68% by foot and Port Adelaide 63. So they've turned it over as the rain starts to pour here at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, I feel Richmond have just been in control the whole game from the first bounce, and then, like we said during the call, the attention to detail for Port Adelaide in the first quarter, they should have had someone on the line to touch the ball to save a goal. In that quarter, they should have had someone on the line to shepherd Nankervis, and that would have been a goal. So there's a 2-goal turnaround. And then, like we said there, in the last 20 seconds, they should have held that ball and had a stoppage, and that's the third goal. So I think Port Adelaide are hanging in there. It's only 8 points, but I feel Richmond are just controlling the game, and they've had moments, Port Adelaide, but they haven't been able to capitalise. And when Richmond get the ball, they're transitioning the ball very easily, highlighted by Daniel Riola kicking 2 goals off the half-back flank, almost had a third, trying to take a hanger over there on it. So it's been highlighted by him, but I think that's just been Richmond's night. They've been able to get the ball played in their half of the oval more than not.
And it's been the tale of Port Adelaide's season. That's why they have all these close losses, because of the attention to detail. Don't give up the red time goals. It's a sin in AFL footy to give up a goal in the last bit of quarters, and that's why Collingwood are winning those close games, because they're really good at those attention to detail things.
Brad Ebert down on the boundary tonight for Bob Jane teammates, and Ebo, midway through that term, you made a really good observation about Port Adelaide, just seeming to get a bit of composure about themselves and rebalance and start to get going. They actually put a couple together and hit the lead, but then it all fell away late. What did you notice at ground level?
Yeah, it did, and I just felt like Port Adelaide started, that intensity just lifted a little bit, and funny enough, Richmond looked like they were in control, like you boys were saying, but as soon as that intensity lifted, it showed there was some kinks in the armour to the way that Richmond were playing, and I don't know, Port Adelaide just weren't able to sustain it though, and I guess that probably comes back to what the guys were saying about, missing a couple of those little key opportunities just end up leading to turnovers that end up being really costly. And so for Port Adelaide, the intensity lifted, but it just feels like there's that lack of, or just that little touch of class that they're probably missing to be able to finish off a few of those extra things and actually capitalise on those moments when, like I said, the momentum swings. You think, all right, who's going to stand up and actually make a big play or contribute with a key moment? It just felt like they were lacking in that space.
What about Connor Rosie? What do you think will be on for him tonight? Do you think we'll see him back?
I think he'll get subbed out. Yeah, the way that he was looking then, he might go down. He's got 20 minutes now with the doctor, and he just certainly looked concerned, and he just kept referring to, he kept sort of referencing his his knee almost going into hyperflexion there. So, here you go. You're watching on the screen, and it looks like he's jogging around, but he just keeps looking concerned and a bit frustrated with it. So, they've strapped it up. He's certainly looking ginger, but like I said, I don't think I'll see him out there. But there you are. You're seeing him jogging and moving. So hopefully we see him again.
He's been a warrior this year, no doubt. Connor Rosie hasn't missed a game, so one of 5 players for the Power to play every match this season.
Good stuff, Evo. We'll catch you on the boundary, mate. For Bob Jane T-Mart, some great insight there from ground level. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you. So you touched on the Daniel Rioli aspect of Richmond and how damaging he can be and has been already. Ken Hinkley at half-time, what does he do to address that scenario, and how does he go about rectifying the issue?
Well, I reckon he's got an opponent. So whoever Daniel Rioli's opponent is, when they get the ball, you lock him away. But also the transition. Daniel gets on the end of it through the hard work that's done on the inside by Cochin and Prestia and those guys. They're getting it, and then they're transitioning the ball out into the open, and he's getting the handball receives or the uncontested mark. So Port will have to get their forwards up into the middle of the ground or their mids in the middle. So that way they get numbers there, and Richmond have to go around and slower. Otherwise, fast-paced footy is how Daniel wants it. And Short's out there as well, and Baker's out there. Those guys want it fast and easy transition, and they're getting that more than not.
He's a match winner for sure. So a Fielder's matchup would be, for me, you'd put Jed McEntee to him. He's had the 3 disposals in the first half of the game. He plays at half forward anyway. Your job for the second half is just to put Rioli away. Make sure that he doesn't impact the scoreboard, those run and carry, just lock him away.
Can I just add, with Rioli, the way that he's playing, I reckon the other key guy is Nankervis. He has just been tearing it up, and his ability to just come across, float in front of contests and take marks, or at least even get onto ground level and impact at ground level. I just feel like those two players are the key difference between what's happening with Port Adelaide and Richmond at the moment.
I think they're the two most influential. And Teakle's come in as a second-game player, but he's got to be better. And, I think Powell Pepper's done 1 or 2 ball-ups, and Finlayson's got to be better as well, getting body on him. But when the ball's kicked long and high, you don't need to be his opponent. Whoever you are, you've got to go over and engage Nankervis and get a body on him and let someone else mark it, or a smaller player mark, because he's spoiled a few and he's marked a couple, because Teakle's staying outside forward 50, being their +1, and Nankervis is going in, and no one's going to him. So
and his eyes are lighting up, aren't they? Because that's Teakle's obviously been instructed to stay out, and that's fair enough. But if he's going to go dropping behind the play, surely then you get that guy that goes, hang on a second, here's Nankervis standing by himself. I need to actually impact here.
Engaging him.
Of course, Rocky gave us a great match-up there as well. McEntee to Rioli for fielders for all your fencing needs this footy season. It's that time of day, Biggles. The Amy Clanger, who covers clangers on and off the field. Amy does. Here's our opening half clanger.
There's been trouble. Morris Rioli ran him down from behind and mowed him.
Careful here. Mark is here.
He was having a cup of tea.
Xavier.
He did exactly what Tom Lynch did in the first quarter, Xavier Dersma. He got the ball and he would have seen Rioli coming at him. He just turns his back and tries to take 10 steps. You can't do it when you've got a guy, anyone chasing you, let alone the fastest man in Richmond.
I think Dersma thought I was out there chasing him.
Gee whiz. But the one big difference I did say in the call, you can hear you coming.
He's going to double down.
You can hear the wobbling of the guts coming and the heavy breathing, and that's just when he's sitting next to you. Like, it's not even when he's running, but that was good though, Rob.
You know, you actually had me laughing out loud on the boundary there, Biggles. That's the first time I'm going to
What about your old man just rolling around like he owns a stand?
Hey, it's his place, isn't it? Yeah.
He high-fived 10 people to his seat.
He is nicknamed Jang for a reason. Just a nice guy, and he'll stop and talk to everyone. I reckon he stopped and talked to that light post out there.
Yada, I know I've only been commentating for a short period of time. I've just seen something that I've never seen ever before. Yeah. Brett Biglands has opened his phone up. In his notes, he's got all his gags written down. And he's about to pull one out. He just couldn't find one.
They just come naturally. You stop looking at my phone, because one day you'll look at something you're not supposed to.
Oh, here we go. You done, Biggles?
What will I find there?
Oh, a bit too far there.
Don't lead him to water. For RAA around the grounds, RAA insured the locals today. It's the Cats at the moment during the third quarter over the Saints to the tune of 27 points. Winners earlier today, of course. The Hawks over the Suns by 7. The Giants getting over the top of the Bombers, and Freo by 17 points over the Bulldogs. So half-time here at the Adelaide Oval, and Richmond lead it by 8 points, 7-6-48. Port Adelaide 6-4-40. We've got a big second half to come your way for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Footy has every angle covered.
They had a good look at Lob's hair. Seriously, he wanted a bottle blonde, but he just got a crook batch. It's a shocker.
And provides not just the problem, but also the solution.
As a man who spent a lot of his career with the bleach through it, Baz, just the purple rinse.
Well, it worked for you.
Oh, what a player.
Yeah, you were a great player.
join the Tempur Mattress call team tomorrow from 12:30 for the Roos and Swans.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia. The Combi Wave by Breville, featuring air fry technology, is just $679, save $70, plus bonus cooking pack. Bonus coffee starter pack with Barista Express Impress from Breville, only $8.99. Or Breville Smart Oven Pizzaiola with bonus pizza pack and create authentic pizzas at home. Now $9.99. Bonus fire redemption. Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia.
We Can Be Heroes. The music of David Bowie orchestrated. Featuring a 28-piece symphony orchestra. With special guest vocalists performing David Bowie's greatest hits. October 6th at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book your Bowie orchestrated tickets now from Her Majesty's Theatre or Ticketek.
RAA. Get a quote for award-winning insurance today. Triple M rocks footy on Adelaide's 104.7.
Peter Shearer Menswear is the brand with the brands and will always price match on identical items. But most of all, our staff are helpful, honest and understand all body shapes are unique. petershearer.com.au. Peter Shearer Menswear, always ahead of the game.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer. Get the new Google Pixel 6a 128GB for $0 upfront when you sign up to a new Optus $69 per month SIM-only plan for 24 months. Plus, receive a bonus $150 Harvey Norman gift card. Offer ends August 8. Minimum cost $1,650. Not available with other offers. In-store only. Cancellation fees, terms and conditions apply. Visit Harvey Norman, your premium Optus dealer.
Go, Harvey, go!
We Can Be Heroes. The music of David Bowie orchestrated. Featuring a 28-piece symphony orchestra. With special guest vocalists performing David Bowie's greatest hits. October 6th at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book your Bowie orchestrated tickets now from Her Majesty's Theatre or Ticketek.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Oh, it's been an interesting half-time here at the Adelaide Oval. Richmond leaded by 8 points at 7-6-48. Port Adelaide a 6-4-40. The Tigers with an 8-point lead. We're about to head into our IGA Liquor third quarter at a drop to your shop this footy season at IGA Liquor. Like a six-pack of beers to go with your footy snacks, head to igaliquor.com.au to find your local store. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop. We've got Sean Burgoyne, we've got Tom Rockcliffe, Rhett Biglan's here on Triple M Footy, and of course Brad Ebert down on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts tonight. Second half about to come your way, boys, but gee, we had some concerning information revealed about our main man Biggles at half-time, didn't we? Now, can we just go and retrace a little bit so we can...
No, we can't. Watch the footy, Yatesy. Get on with it.
So you prepare your gags that you run on this station?
Rocky, just...
Now, we've had a feeling that maybe you did.
Do you know why there's been issues? Because you know what the problem is?
What?
You know, sometimes when you've got a gag that funny, the HR department want to hear it?
Yeah.
That's not good. If the HR department want to hear your gag, you're in trouble at Triple M Footy.
Is that another one of your gags?
Yeah, so work on that one.
So just to get this straight, you've got a list of gags that you write down.
No, I had a joke about Tom Rockcliffe being a little overweight, and I wrote it down a while ago just in case I forgot it, and I didn't go with it, and then he doubles down on it. But no one gives us stuff about that. Can we concentrate on the game? We've got a good game of footy on our hands.
The interesting point out of it was that when you were asked about it, you said yes. All professional comedians write their stuff down. So Bill's just self-anointing himself as comedic. I really enjoyed that. Richmond by 8 points. Silk, now tell me about this game. We've got Port Adelaide and we got Richmond. Now, the Power, they're in it and they're certainly not out of it. Can they make a bit of a comeback in this third term?
We're going to be interesting to see. At half-time, it's been raining, so conditions are going to be very wet and slippery. So see which team adjusts and adapts to the slippery conditions, and if they can control Nan Curvis around stoppages as well, his influence and dominance at stoppages and around the ground. But it's all for Port Adelaide there to take the challenge up to Richmond because they're in control. They're 8 points in front. But yeah, we'll be interested to see what happens now, and be interesting to see if Connor Rosie's either in or he's subbed out. So we'll have a look.
He looks like he's heading towards a goal square, Connor Rosie, so he might play forward in this second half. We know he's been a little bit restricted, but he seems to be moving a little bit better out there. So it's important that Port Adelaide come out full of energy here. You don't want him to be as flat as a bushman's hat.
We're interested to see Connor Rosie's doing. He's obviously got the knee strap. He's doing heel flicks. He's doing some stretches. So it's obviously going to be playing on his mind a little. So we're interested to see how that goes. But I'm just interested to see how Richmond start this game because the game's been played on their terms and Port Adelaide are hanging in there. So it'll be interesting to see.
You made the point earlier, Silk, that it's been extraordinary that Richmond seem to have really dominated, but they are only the 8 points up, aren't they? So there is growth room for Port Adelaide to come out in this term.
Well, there is. They're hanging in there. Port Adelaide have got their goals, but it's been hard work, and Richmond's goals have been relatively easy. So if Port Adelaide gets some easier goals, it does help the mood of the group.
We spoke about the fielders match-up at half-time, and I tell you what, I think I was in the coach's box. McIntyre's gone straight to Rioli and following him everywhere at half-forward for Port Adelaide.
Oh, crystal ball, Rocky. Let's head to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane Seabarts.
Yeah, you've given a fair old assessment on Connor Rosie. It looks like he is starting forward, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just stays there for the rest of the game. So if he's feeling good, it'd be great to see him up and around the ground, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stays deep.
Here he is, Red Bigland's part-time comedian on Triple M Footy to get this third quarter underway.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Rosie got involved early off half-forward. The clearance to Port Adelaide to Butters. They're into attack. Long ball. Dixon went crashing through. Gave away a free kick. Gave a knee in the back. Not paid. Farrell gathers. Here's Bergman. Flying shot, a goal up and under. He loves it. First start. Second half. Port Adelaide on top. They bring the margin back to 2 points. 7-4-46 Port Adelaide. 7-6-48 the Tigers. And that's all happening on the Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard.
Really good goal there from Bergman. Really good snap. But I was more interested in watching the contest where Dixon went up on the Harvey Norman replay, just jumps into Vlosten, who's a really important player, and corks his hip. And Vlosten's coming off now. So Dixon's only had the 3 disposals, but the 2 goals. More importantly, right now, he's hurt one of their key players who hopefully can come back on, but he's made an impact straight away.
That's a free kick. That had to be a free kick.
That's what you love to see from your forwards, though. If someone's going to sit in the hole, put a knee straight through him. That's going back 20 years, old school footy. Charlie Dixon loved it. He's moving a little bit ginger from his knee as well. But
that's ribs.
Ribs. He's in a bit of strife.
So he's really keeling over to the left. We'll get down to Ebo shortly for Bob Jane T-Marts. We're back in the middle. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Tigers clear it out of the centre. Looking for Lynch, couldn't quite complete the mark. Going after the footy toward the boundary is Cumberland. It's over the line, short with him. We'll have it thrown in. Ebo for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Vlosten's in some real Barney rubble there, boys. He is hurting. He's gone straight down to the rooms. He is clutching at his left side, and fingers crossed for him. He's not too much. Doesn't have too much damage.
Yeah, didn't look in a good way. Bob Jane T-Marts, look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Footy's thrown in and fisted out. Call 13 26 25. Or order online today, bobjane.com.au.
Let's hope Vlosten's actually hasn't broken any ribs, because I have broken ribs and it absolutely kills. So fingers crossed, he just hopefully bruised.
Yeah, they're down some leadership at the moment, the Tigers. Edwards coming out, managed. Now Curvis grabs that one out of the ruck, was jumped on by Teakle. Dylan Grimes out of the side as well, so that's the experience I'm talking about. So Pickett now, and half forward, spots up Rewalt, barely 15. He's 60 from home. Lynch is calling for it deep. He wants a one-on-one, but the cavalry's going to arrive. Brent Teagle gets back in front, and Lear gets that almighty fist over the goal line, and we'll get a rush behind. So margin now is back to 3 points. 46 plays 49. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
So Burton for Port Adelaide brings it back in, looking for that man Dixon. Spills to the back, Drew. They've got a vacant 50 here, Port Adelaide. Rosie and Baker. Baker, that's got to be... he's got the free kick against Rosie for a push.
Rosie didn't need to push him because Baker was always going to tap it to the boundary line.
Harvey Norman replay. Gee, wasn't much in that. The new Google Pixel 6a available now at Harvey Norman, plus receive a bonus $150 gift card. Tigers try and clear the area. Great tackle by Daniel Rioli. Wraps up Farrell well. And we'll have a ball up.
Dan Rioli's causing all sorts of headaches for Port Adelaide. So McEntee goes back on him. Now Nankervis to pick it. That was slick. Bolton kicks down the line. Rewald's going to have to try and get working onto it. Kicks it out of the air and fortuitously lands on the chest of Trent McKenzie. Signed a 1-year extension during the week, Trent. And that kick just finds Bergman. We'll go again. McKenzie is the listed free agent when he came across from the Gold Coast and made a fist of it since coming to the power. Now Jace Burgoyne puts on the Jets out of side, but his kick just drops short. No one reading the flight of the footy. And Gibcus, the inclusion for the Tigs, takes the mark.
So opportunity here for Jack Graham. They work it through. Here he is again, Daniel Rioli for Richmond. Inside 50, finds Lynch. That was easy stuff. And Lynch will go back right forward pocket, Cathedral end under the old scoreboard and have a shot.
Well, Rioli got the ball on the wing and got the one over the top. So as a Port player, as he gets rid of the ball, you've got to bumper him. Don't let him get the 1-2. Didn't do it. He runs, breaks the lines, and then he hits it forward.
Sean Burgoyne there tonight with Tom Rockcliffe for Seabar Super. So Lynch to extend the Tiger lead. Northern end goal. Bit of angle about it. Kick on the way. Is going right there. He's been able to get that, I think. Goal to Lynch. Tigers are back out by 9. Lynch has got, it's a couple for the night, so it's 8-7-55 Tigers, 7-4-46 Port. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop. Ebo, you got an update there for Bob Jane T-Marts on Floston?
Yeah, Vloston's just come back up from the rooms. He's put the jacket straight on, and they've got Castagna warming up and getting ready to go onto the ground, guys. So looks like he's out of the game.
A couple of roles that we spoke about at half-time. McEntee just let Rioli go there. He's come straight to the interchange bench, so I don't know whether the coaching staff are sending a message there or not, but the other one in the midfield, Willem Drew's gone to Prestia. The Red Z lending stats, Prestia's up to 19, so Drew's starting to play a negative role around the stoppages for Port Adelaide.
McDonald's a Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks, footy, Nankervis superb. Left-hand palm down to Prestia. And they're on the attack now. Graham. Deep into attack they go, but he overcooks the kick and it goes over the head of Cumberland and Lear. Goal-saving mark right on the line. Short little defensive ball to Houston. Houston's got a 2-on-1. Finlayson can fly, couldn't quite get a jump at it. Boat strong in the air, brings it to the ground. Sonzi, the youngster, could have had a shot. Oh, Leach gathered, picked it off his shins, turned his opponent McKenzie inside out and rams down his third. Tom Lynch is starting to heat up. Richmond are now out to 15-point leaders in the Adelaide Oval. That's all happening on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
That defensive exit by Dan Houston, he kicks it to a 2v2. The ball gets brought to ground. There's another 3 Richmond players come over. Then it's a 5v2. They're outnumbered. They get that they get that entry in to Lynch, who kicks an easy goal. But the exit out of defensive 50 has to be better.
Yeah, they had a 2-on-1 in the air. I think Boat could have held down, but there was no talk from behind from Finlayson to hold him out. But Tom Lynch has started the third quarter the same way he started the game. He's on top of Trent McKenzie again. McKenzie's still standing next to him. I wonder if they're going to make that change or not, but Tom Lynch is starting to heat up for Richmond.
So we're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. You heard Tommy Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne for Seabus going through that little patch of play, brilliantly described. Here's Dixon. Rosie stepping around, gets a high ball. Inside 50 for Port. Gray used a bit of body pressure. Powell Pepper overran it. Tigers have got numbers. Port comes sweeping through. Now Broad, deliberate, insufficient intent. So Port Adelaide are going to get the footy. Butters is the man with it.
That's it.
So he's tucked into the left forward pocket. City end. He was initially lining up for a snap scenario. Now he's shaping his body back to that position. He's got Dixon who'll try and keep the body pressure, and he snaps around the body, gets the goal. That's a really nice finish from Butters. Intelligent player, and margin back to 3 points. Actually, no, 9 points. Tigers, they lead it 9-7-61. Port Adelaide 8-4-52. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop. We've played nearly 9 minutes third term. Tom Rockcliffe, Sean Burgoyne on Triple M footy.
Well, Coach Rockcliffe mentioned how McEntee was going to Rioli. McEntee comes off, Butters comes on, Butters goes to Rioli, and Butters kicks the goal. So I don't think Butters is going to tag Rioli. He's going to try and make him more defensively accountable, kicks the goal, but it'd be interesting that move.
Yeah, really clever from Robbie Gray there as well. He had a couple of knock-ons that put it in the path of Sam Powell-Pepper. He couldn't pick it up on the first go. But Butters and Gray followed up and put pressure on and forced that ball out of bounds.
9 point lead to the Tigers. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Oh, Finlayson got a knee right in the agates in the centre of the ground. He's in all sorts. That was Big Nank. The clearance to Pickett. Out of side, swings around the left. Oh, how did that get round there? The ball doing everything in the air, and Cochin took in a one-hander. So he turns, straight to the pocket he goes. Numbers are there. Smashing through. Oh, here's Cumberland. Couldn't gather, slips over. Lynch went busting through as well. Takes the tackle on Houston, get a boundary throw inside the forward pocket for the Tigers. They lead by 9 points.
Lee came back and sat in the hole as well, and Tom Lynch has done exactly the same as what Dixon did to Vlosten at the other end. Need him right in the buttocks.
See him limping a bit too.
So throw in underneath the old scoreboard, Cathedral end. Amon wrapped up strongly. Umpire runs in. We'll have a ball up.
Thank you.
Harvey Norman replay. Teagle brought it down to the front. Another contest. Tries to do the same. Then Curvis trying to step through. Little tap from Cochin. Cumberland was good. Morris Rioli around the body. That's a big goal. That's a big goal for the Tigers. And they're back out by 15 points. 10-7-67. Port Adelaide 8-4-52. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Yeah, Harvey Norman replay then at the stoppage. They were just too strong in the contest a couple of times. Richmond, Cochin on Rosie there. He just planted his feet. Really strong in the contest. Handball comes out. Burn-Jones got sucked in a little bit to the contest, and Rioli with a really nice finish.
Well, it's a game of metres, isn't it? Well, actually, a bit less than metres. Burn-Jones is on Rioli. He's a metre sucked in. He comes in a metre too much in, and Rioli gets a handball quick, one step quick snap. So that's how much, if you add positioning by 1 metre, can hurt you.
McDonald's catch a quarter pounder range meal and score a free Macca's glass. Start collecting today. McDonald's are great supporters of us here on Triple M footy. Been doing it for a long time.
Starting positions warning for Port
666 warning for the power. Not getting organised, so he throws it up. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Cracking match so far. Bryn Teakle got his own ruck work and kicked it half forward. Powell-Pepper contests and follows up at ground level. Finlayson, not sure what he was doing there. He was asking for help and didn't get it, and then handball to the opposition.
That's a bad decision from the
And another insufficient attempt at the outer side, and that is going to ruffle the feathers of the Power Army. Jace Burgoyne, not sure what he was meant to do.
Well, you're in a contest and you're allowed to touch the ball. So I'm not sure what the umpire was thinking there.
Castagna, the Medi sub, who's in for Floston, works it up towards the attacking 50 for Richmond. They got a lot of players. Prestia squeezed the handball, got it across. Here's short, tumbling one to the top of the square. Contest here. Oh, revolt! Big mark! Going back with the flight, and Jack able to stick it.
That's a super courageous mark, isn't it? Going back with the flight. You know, there's some big bodies in there. Eyes on the ball. It's wet. The ruckman's there. Teakle, Elia's there. Jonas is with him.
15 gone.
He does it too often to be a fluke. It's just incredible, that stuff. He makes it look so easy.
He had that big one. Was it against the Giants or the Suns last year? And he comes in again and he nails that. So the Tigers all of a sudden are busting it open here. It's a 21-point margin on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. And we've played nearly 13 minutes third term. Tommy Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne on Triple M footy.
Yeah, it's off the back on the Red Z lending stats here of the contested footy. Richmond are starting to blow that stat open, and we know that Port Adelaide's struggling in games when they get blown away. Currently, Richmond are plus 18 on contested possession alone, plus 2 in this quarter, but they're really starting to open this game up and got it on their terms at the moment, Richmond.
They're adjusting the conditions, aren't they? It's wet, it's slippery. You've got to body line the ball, you've got to take the tackle, and that's what they're doing.
Good insights, Triple M Red Z lending stats. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. The rain came down at half-time break, so we've seen players losing their feet. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Teakle's doing a great job at the centre bounce, put it down Robbie Gray's throat.
My ball.
And he was immediately set upon.
Surely you've got a good weather joke written down there, Mr. Comedian.
No comedian here. Just some good hard footy at the Adelaide Oval, Rocky. Sort of stuff you love when you rack up your 58 disposals you had in the SANFL. It's usually about now he tells everyone about it. Clearance again to the Tigers. And Ryan Burton goes back with the flight.
He's up.
Takes a chest mark. So he wants to come through the corridor. Beautiful user of the footy, Ryan Burton. Long into attacking 50. Dixon provides the contest. Robbie Gray touched the fumbles. Oh, Rioli was good again, working back defensive coverage. Quick handball effectively to Short. Short gets around the corner. Contest in the centre of the ground. Now's a big one. The ball doesn't come out. The only one's wrapped up that he had prior. No, it's the umpire. So Richmond now out to a lead of 21 points after leading 8 points at half-time and 9 points at quarter-time.
So we're in the middle. Rucks go at it. Here's Prestia. Got it across. Short for Richmond. Got it around the body. Bouncing footy. Coming through. We've got Lynch, Port Adelaide. That was well done by Butters, though he lost it in the end. It ends up to Revolt. Here is an opportunity for the Tigers. Ross for another goal. Misses. So away to the right. Margin 22 points, Richmond.
The game's on the line right now. Richmond can smell the blood in the water. Kicks that goal, extends the margin, but it looks like they're winning across the field. The game's on the line right now. Port Adelaide need to stop their momentum, otherwise Richmond are going to kick away.
And when your season's done, these are the games when it gets a little bit hard. It can just really get away from you here for Port Adelaide, so they've got to stay in this fight.
No doubt, because the Cats are smashing the Saints, so the Tigers can jump into the 8 with a victory here, and they can smell it. They've upped the ante and the pressure stakes. Butters trying to gather. Oh, McIntosh. That's better there from Dersma. Went straight through and wrapped him up, Xavier Dersma.
Let him straight up.
Strong tackle, not infringing. 22-point leaders to the Tigers. Tigers lost here to the Crows in round 5 by 19 points. Adelaide Oval for them's had some varying results. Richmond now at half forward through Revolt. Forward handball. Bolton's got some space to work into. Beautiful pickup. Gave to Castagna, the sub who's on the ground. Went for the check side and did not connect at all. Crossed the face of goal and barely scrapes in.
They're just hunting in numbers at the moment, Richmond. They're turning up at every contest, running in waves, and they look like they've got much more energy than what Port Adelaide do at this stage of the game. Darcy Byrne-Jones has gone forward for Port Adelaide, believe it or not.
So throw in. Rucks are going to go at it. Teakle. He brought it straight down. Prestia gathered. Here's Lynch, an opportunity for his 4th. Yes, yes, yes. 4 for Lynch. And the Tigers are out by 28. 12-8-80 Richmond. 8-4-52 Port. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Harvey Norman replay there. Really poor from Port Adelaide at that stoppage. Prestia is able to run through. I think it was off Wines in the end. He got a handball, but Willem Drew's off the ground, and Presti's had the last 2 or 3 clearances in a row. He's up to 17 contested possessions now, leading clearance winner as well on the Red Z lending stats, up to 7. Someone needs to take care of him when Willem Drew's not out there.
Well, right now, Port Adelaide have to go into yellow time or red time because Richmond have all the momentum. They're going to kick some more goals. They need to get a player behind the ball, a tall forward, Dixon or Finlayson behind the ball, or they've got to build the game up, build the ball up with uncontested marks. Because right now Richmond are kicking away, they're winning everything.
Well, Dixon's gone into the pivot. He's going to contest this ruck. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water does just that up against Miller. Brought it down. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocking footy. Big contest on the outer wing. Cumberland with a double-handed dive. Whacks it forward. And now Port Adelaide calls a turnover. Houston to Amon. Amon undecided. Tries to go short. It's a 50-50 ball. Luckily comes off though. Going straight through was McAtee. That was a good attack on the footy. Willem Drew. Kick around the corner from Burn Jones, who's gone forward. You heard that from Tom Rockcliffe. Robbie Gray, the magician. That crumb was just magic. Meant to aim on with a flying shot at goal, but he's missed the skinny side. Normally has a pretty good shot at those. Can't aim on his left, so the score's gone begging. 8-5, 53, Port Adelaide 12, 8-80. The Tigers, that margin now out to 27. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Relatively easy shot there for Carl. He's got to nail them if they want to stay in this game.
So here's Broad. Fist there from Burton. Aliers wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills, still in dispute. Rioli gathered for Richmond. That was Morris. Little soccer off the deck. That was Lynch working to the line. Farrell, he's wrapped up in a strong tackle. And we'll have a ball up right in front of the Triple M commentary box. I'm just thinking back to that joke file, Rocky. I reckon you might be onto something. I'm pretty sure Biggers would be having little headings just so they can quickly access the comedy when needed as it's out of play. Something like, a pun of family names. Berry, Berry, Berry. Might be a little fruit basket. Well, we could have, maybe we can raise the stakes in the elevator. That old classic, getting the cow in there.
Cow in the elevator. I forgot that he doesn't go near weather anymore since he left his radar on Warrnambool that time.
With your predictions, Rocky, you're making a weather presenter look good, let me tell you. Right, from the clearance, the Tigers doing it at that ground level. Presti's been enormous around that congestion. And Sonzi was good. Handball forward. And over to Lynch.
So Lynch, he's wrapped up.
He's getting wound up, Yadi. You might have to take control here.
He's actually stood up over me trying to intimidate. We're in the middle. For McDonald's and Reeb Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Little tap. Came from Cochin. Burton. Oh, here's Morris Rioli. Sharp around the contest. And it's wrapped up at the top of the 50 here, but
you can't pin him.
This game is getting away too quickly for Port Adelaide. He has pinged him, so it's going to be a Port free kick, but it's a big Richmond lead at the moment.
Can the Tigers continue this momentum? Kick down the line. Nan Curvis has been brilliant today. Cochin was tackled without the footy. That's how the umpire saw it. So Graham ran on with the advantage and just spot kicks one to the 50-metre arc and finds the young gun Sonzi. He's 50 out. He's looking for a wraparound there. Tyler Sonzi. Game number 4. He barracked for the Tigers as a kid. He's playing out his dream. Pick 28 in the draft, just chips it forward. Oh, look at the hang! It was all set up for him. He just launched into it. Shea Bolton from 5 deep. It was set up, and he just took it perfectly.
Harvey Norman replay, that's a sensational mark there. He got some really good elevation and he got that high. His ears popped, I think, Biggers.
What a star of the game Shea Bolton is. He's already kicked 2. The 9 coaches' votes have to be an All-Australian lock this year, Shea Bolton. This is going to hurt Port. Oh, and he drops his head. He pushed it. There was a lay-down, was there. The door slightly ajar for Port Adelaide. Richmond now lead by 28 points. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
That's what elevates his game to the next level. He's just got to take his opportunity. He's had 5 shots on goal tonight for 2 goals.
Gee, they really mess up the re-entry here, Port Adelaide. They're still under some pressure. Look at the Tigers swarm. They can smell blood sweeping through Cumberland. He just couldn't take possession. Tried the impossible, soccer off the deck. And we will have it thrown in. It was just out of play before he got boot the ball. So it's a 28-point Richmond lead. And in these contests, it's going to be Dixon in the ruck this time against Dan Curvis. They got a goal out of the last stoppage forward here, Richmond. Now, wrapped up, Dixon just wanted to go and gather it. G. Boak under some heat. Release the handball. Dixon, he'd be done there. No. He had to get rid of that. No free kick.
That was holding the ball, dropping the ball, incorrect disposal. One of them.
Harvey Norman replay. It's just tackled, doesn't dispose of the ball at all. Prestia locked him up. Ball just hits the deck. Good luck as a fan turning up to the ground and knowing what the umpire's going to pay.
So the Tigers by 28 points. Boundary thrown right in front of Brad Ebert. He's been down on the boundary for Bob Jane teammates tonight, doing a great job. Now Curvis follows through. Robbie Gray's got him. Another ball up. Both clubs have used 37 players this year. A couple of big names out for the Tigers tonight. The 300 gamer in Edwards. He just joined us. Vlosten subbed out as well of this match. Shea Bolton was terrific. Soccer off the ground. Rewalt full chested back to Shea Bolton. Palm off Jace Burgoyne, but he missed the handball. Still might work out. Flying shot on goal. Is that Cumberland? It is, but misses to the skinny side. Yet to have a major so far, Cumberland. Let's get down and see Brad Eaton for Bob James teammates.
Yeah, just been watching those last few stoppages right in front of me, boys. And Port Adelaide have been going wing on, which we talked about before, where their wingman goes to the other side of the stoppage and mans them up. But it just needs a massive hole at the front of stoppage, which is allowing Richmond to run straight through a number of times now.
Great stuff, Ebo, for Bob James teammates. Port Adelaide work it. Winds to Aaliyah. Gets it up in the Amon direction. Broad came back, just able to do enough to sort of interfere a bit. And now it's a turnover ball, though, that came from Bolter straight to Wines. Can Port Adelaide get something on the rebound? Here's Boak going sideways. His old mate Robbie Gray. Got a round man on the mark. Release the handball. Rosie. Opportunity here for Connor. Lines them up. And he has missed. A very much needed chance gone begging there for the power. Margin is 28 points, Richmond, 82-54. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Amon had a miss earlier on. Now Connor Rosie. That's 2 goals, 2 very easy goals they've missed now. They've got to take those chances.
Play on.
So they reset the Tigers. Desperate to get back in the top 8. Aaliyah with a big fist from the kick in. Bergman got to the front. Crumbed it well. Spun around, had Pal Pepper in the pocket. Is he going to get there? No. Just pitches and rolls over the boundary line and get a boundary throw. And Tigers by 28.
Yeah, some red Z landing stats for the third quarter. Richmond have gone inside 50 12 times for 9 scores, 5 goals, 4. Port Adelaide have gone in 6 times. They've been pretty efficient, 2 goals, 2.
Great work, Pig. Triple M Red Z landing stats. So Finlayson taking run the ruck now. Curvis. Bolton's been electric. Gathers, but was dispossessed. And he's done. Butters wrapped him up really strongly in. He's got him done with holding the ball. Missed a chunk of time with that knee, Zach Butters, but still averaging 21 disposals this year. And already a goal kicker tonight. Strong tackle on Bolton. Can that ignite the power? So into the pocket. Oh, that was an arm chop, not paid. Bolton was all over Bryn Tinkle. Another boundary throw in forward pocket City ends.
I'll take it.
Port's turn now to apply some pressure. They've had a couple of shots on goal. Get a re-entry. They've got to make the most of this because Richmond are going to get the momentum back at some stage.
Throw in. Deep 50 here for Port Adelaide. Tinkle tapped to the front. Butters was there. Prestia came bursting through. A little too easy. Got the footy working up in the Richmond way. And that was just a little tap that came from Cumberland. It went to Revolt. It's out in front here of Morris Rioli. He gathers, he turns, he puts on a bit of a dance show that he's wrapped up by Aaliyah. Now here's Dersma. And Port Adelaide bounce off half-back.
Brent Tinkle steams up. The big man dropped it though. Slippery hands. It's been raining. Couldn't quite bring it down. Ollie Wines helps him out though. Willem Drew. On the outer side, Pal Pepper's still available in the pocket. They missed him 3 times, so they go inside. And Big Nank puts his left fist straight through the Sharon. Sends it to the outer side. And Tigers reload. Oh, Rewalt launched a half an hour early. It's all clear to play on, though, the umpire says. Now Prestia. He's going to wait for some numbers to get ahead of him. And Rewalt's one of those. Took on the tackler. How to get rid of it fairly, said the umpire. A lot of gas players out there. High-octane game so far. Now a turnover ball. Rosie's got it. Slows things down a bit as we take a breath. In fact, it's Travis Boak. Still got that hand bandaged up. Looks to come into the middle. This is a risky kick. Carl Amon's going to have to be good. Got 3 to beat. Can't do it. Cochin, excellent ground level. Won the footy.
Just too many numbers here for Richmond. And he's got Rioli. He's got a player on in the pocket. Is this Miller? It is. He's got a man over the top, Cumberland, but Miller is going to go back and have a shot on goal.
But they're just making the wrong decisions, aren't they? The last entry inside 50, Pal Pepper was all by himself. They just kept going the wrong way. Travis Boak then kicking the ball long and high inside to a 1v3.
Just plays into Richmond's hands. That's the game they want. They want a high turnover game, and they'll eventually break you with their weapons of running and ability to turn up for each other.
So Miller, in his 9th game, he's kicked 1 career goal. Oh boy, he did not get a piece of that at all. It bounces, it rolls, it's right underneath the old scoreboard. Cathedral End will have it tossed in. Richmond lead by 28.
That was an incredible shot. He's missed that by 35 metres and it's bounced out of bounds. What do they say, Biggers? It's a better game without Ruckman.
I don't think anyone actually says that. So Nankervis, been a star. To the front, shoved under it. Cochin, good at the gather. Now Shea Bolton to Rewalt, just wobbles one forward. Oh, Dersma spilt it. Here is a ruckman. Nankervis smashed Tommy Jonas on the ground. Still alive in the forward pocket for the Tigers. Farrell dumps one, gets it out of there, around the corner. Beautiful gather from Travis Boak. Makes that sort of stuff look easy when he's running full tilt below his knees. And gives it off. Pepper shoved out, no free kick. Out of side now, Baker dropped his head, played for the free kick, won't get it. So Tigers by 28 points.
Thank you.
And just over 3 minutes left in this third term.
Toby, Jeremy.
A lot of players around this footy. Nankervis got the tap down. That was Ross getting boot to ball, and it is out of play. We will have it thrown in.
Richmond look like they're on top of the ground at the moment, and Port Adelaide look really flat. A lot of hands on hips. So I think if Richmond get the next goal, it could really break, and the damn wall will open right up here.
Tommy Rockcliffe there with Sean Burgoyne tonight. For Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. Pal Pepper, he's wrapped up at ground level. Prestia, he's been racking them up on the Red Z lendings. So he tried a chest mark there. That was Revolt, I think. Ball spills to the back. Little handball from Farrell. Amon hassled to the line and it's over. We'll have it thrown in at left forward pocket here for the Tigers. It's a 28-point Richmond lead.
Red Z lending stats. Presti's up to 20 contested possessions now.
Tigers pulled their sub, Vlosten, out of the team, copped a nasty knee in the ribs. Of course, Castagna coming on as that sub. Riley Bonner up the sleeve, Port Adelaide. Nankervis, flying shot, a goal out of the stoppage. Bolton was infringed. He was going back with the flight. Burton got him right in the face, front on contact. Bolton, I should say, in the goal square, will line up for goal number 3.
He's in the goal square and it's no certainty. It's no certainty, unfortunately, with Bolton. He's had the 11 disposals, 5 shots on goal, around the corner.
And mark it down, Shea Bolton. And he's got 3. And been a start. And Richmond are well in control now. Margin out to 34 points. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
He went around the corner there. He's got no self-confidence to go back and kick the drop punt. On the Harvey Norman replay there, Ryan Burton just ran back, made front on contact. Free kicks there every day of the week. That's paid 100 out of 100, I think. We think that the umpires have missed a few free kicks tonight, but that one was certainly there. And Bolton makes him pay. It's been a really good battle. I think that one between Bolton and Burton, but Bolton's starting to get the upper hand now. He's had the 6 shots on goal for 3 goals on the Red Z lending stats.
So we are back in the middle. 34-point Richmond lead. They've really opened this game up in the third term. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Prestia again. 21st contested Red Z lending. Works it wide. Here's Jack Ross. He's got it just forward a centre wing. Tigers by 34. And with possession. So gets a long ball working forward. Alir, nice in that contest with Lynch. Ball ground level. Cumberland to gather a snap, a goal. Tigers on fire here at the Adelaide Oval. Cumberland's got a couple for the night. All of a sudden, it's a 40-point ball game, lads, on the Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard. Shawnee Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe.
We said they need to do something different, Port Adelaide. They haven't done anything different. They haven't put a player behind the ball. I don't know if they're trying to actually milk the clock, so they haven't changed their game plan at all. And red time goals. This is the second goal in the last minute and a half, which is not acceptable when you're coming towards the end of the quarter. You know the opposition you've got to run on. You've got to try to slow the clock down. Richmond are applying all the pressure, and they're getting entries inside 50. They're just doing what they want, and they're getting results on the scoreboard.
I think the only thing they've changed is that Lear's gone to Tom Lynch now, but Presti is the one that's doing the damage. You don't normally tag in a centre bounce, but Willem Drews made sure that he's on him this time.
Margin at 40 points. Richmond are humming. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. And Nankervis has been a big part of that. To Cochin at the centre bounce, back to Nankervis. A bit of volleyball action. Butters tried to smash through, missed his target though. Now Baker, I'm not sure what that kick was. Under pressure, turn over the ball to Carl Amon. So Port Adelaide have to cover the loss of Carl Amon for next year as he changes clubs.
Has he signed?
Plenty of action around that one. So now Pal Pepper hacks one forward. Run provided. Finlayson had some space. Gets out in the open and just rams one home. Much needed goal, to say the least, for Port Adelaide. And Finlayson's got a couple. So margin back to 34 points. Minute left in this third term. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
I'm not sure where Finlayson's opponent was because he's just strolling through the middle. Ball goes over the back of the pack. And Pal Pepper just sockers the ball off the ground because he's under pressure. I'm not sure if he saw Finlayson and just rolls in his pass and he's able to stroll in and kick an easy goal. Probably the easiest goal they've had for the night. And they just can't get more of them, those goals throughout the night.
I think he just stayed on the fat side of the ground, on the open side, as the ball was transitioning down the other side. He's in the ruck at the moment, and Finlayson, he may have cheated a little bit, but he got out the back, and sometimes that works in your favour, and a much-needed goal for Port Adelaide. Hopefully it can kick-start a bit of momentum for them to get them back into the game, so the last quarter isn't a bore up here for us.
34 points is the Tiger lead, back in the middle. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, and it's all wrapped up. Cochin at the base of it, that man again, Prestia. Drew put the tackle on. Rucks go at it. Nankervis, Rosie got a little tap. Here's Cumberland for Richmond. Had it, lost it, got it again. Got it across to Baker. Spills out the back to McIntosh. Castagna just rifles a handball to Short. Gets it around the body. Porter got some numbers here. Ground level support came though from Cochin. Tried to get the arms clear and Port went out. Farrell, Pal Pepper. Gets it working down the line. Dixon, big, strong. Nice mark. Is there a late chance goal here for Port Adelaide? We're inside the final 15 seconds of the third term. Teakle. Ground level Richmond. They wrap it up. Ball spills. Drew. Little tap. McEntee. Teakle wrapped up then Curvis. And we'll have a ball up.
Richmond have got spares all behind the ball. This is what you're talking about before, Shawnee. Port Adelaide didn't change anything. Richmond know it's late in the quarter, so they put 3 or 4 numbers behind the ball.
So, free kick going the Tigers' way as the siren goes. 3-quarter time here at the Adelaide Oval. And it is Richmond 14-10-94. They lead it by 34 points. Port Adelaide a 9-6-60 around the grounds for RAA in Sherwood, the locals today, and the Cats. They're doing a job on the Saints at GMHBA. They lead by 58 points. 10 minutes left in that game. 3-quarter time here at the Adelaide Oval. It is the Tigers by 34. Back to hear from Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe after this. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For McDonald's.
Triple M Rocks footy.
Catch a quarter-pounder range meal and score a free Macca's glass. Start collecting today.
Triple M. Good times. Sounds like this in the morning.
You know all I'm good for is smut. Yeah. Sorry.
Good times in the Arvo. Sounds like this.
Give us another American accent. Jars.
And more of the greatest hits while you work. Sounds like this. Adelaide's good times and greatest hits. 104.7 Triple M.
It's time for tackling claims with RAA Home and Contents Insurance. We've seen some rainmakers and Hail Marys. Oh, the roof! Questionable free kicks. And some big steals.
Oh, they took the TV.
But while people hit the woodwork, the team at RAA Insurance tackle the claims right here in SA. Get an RAA Home and Contents Insurance quote today and
keep on moving on.
T's and C's apply. Consider the PDS and TND. Product issued by RAA Insurance. Available from RAA.
Are you looking for a new vehicle? Have you thought about a pre-owned? Start by searching North Point Toyota certified pre-owned vehicles. Go pre-owned and enjoy the same feeling you get with a new Toyota. North Point Toyota's certified pre-owned vehicles come with a full service history, independent background check, and free 12 months roadside assistance. North Point Toyota's certified pre-owned vehicles are in a class of their own. It's the North Point way. Hillcrest, Prospect, Port Augusta, or northpointtoyota.com.au.
We Can Be Heroes. The music of David Bowie orchestrated. Featuring a 28-piece symphony orchestra. With special guest vocalists performing David Bowie's greatest hits. October 6th at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book your Bowie orchestrated tickets now from Her Majesty's Theatre or Ticketek.
Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia. The Combi Wave by Breville, featuring air fry technology, is just $679, save $70, plus bonus cooking pack. Bonus coffee starter pack with Barista Express Impress from Breville, only $8.99. All Breville Smart Oven Pizzaiola with bonus pizza pack and create authentic pizzas at home. Now $9.99. Bonus fire redemption. Harvey Norman, official partner of the Commonwealth Games Australia.
Sterling Homes. Whether your budget is the size of a ruck or a rover, Sterling Homes can design a custom home for you.
It looks really good.
Triple M rocks footy on Adelaide's 104.7.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
We Can Be Heroes. The music of David Bowie orchestrated. Featuring a 28-piece symphony orchestra. With special guest vocalists performing David Bowie's greatest hits. October 6th at Her Majesty's Theatre. Book your Bowie orchestrated tickets now from Her Majesty's Theatre or Ticketek.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
Oh, big third term by the Tigers. They're out by 34 points. 14-10-94 Richmond. Porter 9-6-60 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Sean Burgoyne and Tommy Rockcliffe, Port were blown apart in that third term.
Yeah, absolute domination here from Richmond in that third quarter. They blew the game open, 15 inside 50s for 7 goals for. Nearly every time they went in, they scored 11 times out of the 15. And conversely, Port Adelaide went in 10 times for 5 scores, only the 3 goals. But they just opened it up. The contested footy in that quarter just got away from Port Adelaide completely. Domination from Richmond, plus 18 in that quarter alone. But I think it's around plus 36 for the game now. So we know Port Adelaide struggle when contested footy goes against them. And Richmond were able to dominate that area. And Presti has led the charge area. He's up to 21 contested possessions, 28 disposals on the night. So they tried a few things, Port Adelaide. They certainly tried to send Willem Drew to him. They've thrown the magnets around a little bit. Darcy Byrne-Jones has gone to half forward, Kane Farrell to half back. So at the moment, Port Adelaide are just hanging in and it feels like it's got a 10-goaler written all over it. If Richmond get the momentum at the start of this quarter, look out.
Well, they just wanted to get the ball more in the third quarter. For me, the clearance is 20-7 and the contested possessions 49-31 says it all. Richmond were just tougher, harder for longer, and then in the end, the floodgates opened and Richmond just kept getting goals on repeated entry, but after winning the hard ball first and then getting it in there, and then Port Adelaide just couldn't get the transition game going. They didn't adapt to the conditions, and then we spoke about red time goals. They let a number of red time goals go through there as well, where they just needed to get either a player or two back or chip the ball sideways and build it up. They weren't able to do that. Richmond just kept piling on the pressure.
Sean Burgoyne and Tom Rockcliffe there for Seabus Super. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. We're about to get the final term underway. Here is Rhett Biglands on Triple M footy.
And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M does rock footy. Butters smashes into Bolton every centre bounce. It's not working because here is Bolton, charges at it. Man Curvis put a beautiful palm down in his path, couldn't gather. Now McIntosh, as the wobbling ball gets to half forward for Port Adelaide. Huge pressure around that footy. Short for the Tigers. McIntosh bounding off half back. Puts the ball in the path of Sonzi. Does a U-turn. Comes back. Rioli spots up beautifully. Cumberland under the footy though. Inside attacking 50 for the Tigers. And a good spoil from McKenzie. Sees it over the boundary line.
Again, Port Adelaide's disposal going forward lets him down. They had the opportunity to go long inside 50. Went for the handball and just completely missed the target.
Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install the Ream. Footy tossed in. 50 around. from the Tiger goal. Little tap there from Prestia. And it is out of play. Have it throw it in. Richmond going to the city end here on the final turn. They lead it by 34 points.
The boundary thrown around the half-forward line. Shea Bolton has been enormous. Jace Burgoyne having a look at him now. They're blocking for him, though. Now Curvis grabbed it out of the ruck, pushed Teakle out of the way, kicked around the corner. Into attacking 50 they go. Bergman's the first back onto the loose footy, though. He gathers. Forward handball, puts McEntee under all sorts. Does well, though, McEntee. Bounced off one, gave off to another. Now Farrell. Mackenzie's had some strange moments tonight. Along down the line, Finlayson in a one-on-one on Robbie Tarrant. Good spoil from Tarrant to the front. Now Prestia whacks it out in the path. Oh, almost dispossessed, and all sorts of pressure. Noah Bolter, turnover ball, and it's inside attacking 50 now. Port Adelaide trap. Boat ran onto it. Oh, Dixon confused. Big man, what was he thinking?
Not immediate.
Didn't realise there was an opposition out there.
That's happened a few times tonight, Biggles. They just look at the opposition and think they're not going to tackle them.
Young Gibcus just ran him down.
Give it on.
Dixon was having a real moment upstairs.
So down the line goes Gibcus. And a fist there from Bergman was good as we get a bit more rain falling here at the Adelaide Oval.
I guess when you watch the game, you can forgive players for making mistakes, and, you know, as we're all going to do. But when you look at a player and he's coming at you and he just tackles you, and then you act like you didn't know they were there, and you saw them, it's confusing.
Sean Burgoyne there on Triple M footy, along with Tom Rockcliffe tonight. Houston out of the contest. Got Port Adelaide working forward. Burn-Jones puts some pressure around the ball. Spits out the back. Gee, it's a hard pill to control out there at the moment. And the Tigers run it over. Margin cut to 33 points with a rushed. And on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies, over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job easier. It's a 33-point Richmond lead.
And the Tigers have got an eye on September. Cats are slashing the Saints. They'll slip into the 8 if they can get the Chocolates here, leading by 33 in the last. So, sock off the ground from Robbie Gray on the 50-metre arc. Tries to do a little bit of fancy footwork back to Ollie Wines, couldn't get him. McIntosh went through, soccer again. Slippery ball, rain falling. Farrell was set upon. Oh, Shea Bolton just picked it up like a dry night and gathers to Rewalt. Rewalt went for the barrel, came off the outside of his boot, and Lynch got a look at it, but Aliir shut him down. Great spoil in the dying seconds, I should say. Let's get down to Brad Ebert for Bob Jane teammates.
Thanks, mate. Jack Graham went down to the rooms just before three-quarter time. He hadn't emerged, but he's finally just come back up now after about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm not too sure what happened there, but he seems like he's back on the bench and ready to go.
Good stuff, Ebo. Bob Jane teammates. Ball spilling around inside the attacking 50 here for Richmond. Prestia wrapped up. Bob Jane teammates, look after your Biggles. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. As Port Adelaide, they clear it out and it's fisted over the line. We'll have it thrown in.
You see the difference between the clean players and the not so clean players. Bolton came through before, made out that it was almost a dry night, and there's been about 7 or 8 blokes fumble from there. So the clean players really flourish in the wet Biggles, and as you know, I had 57 on a cold, wet day at North Adelaide.
It was way overdue. The pig raising the bat, nicknamed the pig for various reasons. So from the stoppage, Prestia goes to the front, just trickles it over the boundary line. And I think the other factor for the Tigers tonight where they've been really good is their late closing spoils. They've been very timely with their air assists. And that's where they love to bring the ball to ground and get their classy mids to go to work. Presti's been enormous. Cochin's been fantastic. They're both at the front of this stoppage, but Travis Boak takes position A. Then Houston gets a check side around the corner, relieving kick. Oh, Dixon just gave it up. The 1-on-1 contest to Ross, and now the Tigers get to reload. Oh, smashing through. Rosie caught one. Might have been friendly fire from Darcy Burn-Jones.
So umpire's going to throw it up. Teakle, he's been beaten to the punch all night by Nankervis. Boak this time. Oh boy! Burn-Jones copped the high one from McIntosh, and they remonstrate. Burn-Jones still down 2.
Robbie, do you want to take
Harvey
it?
Norman
Take it,
replay.
Robbie, great.
We'll need to
Take
check
the
this
kick.
out. The new
Okay,
Google
yeah, thank you,
Pixel
thank you.
6a
Just
available
wait.
now at Harvey Norman, plus receive a bonus $150 gift card. What did you make of that, boys?
Yeah, tough as nails, Darcy Byrne-Jones. McIntosh just went to make the spoil, but collected him high. I don't think we'll see Darcy Byrne-Jones again tonight. He didn't look too healthy there on the Harvey Norman replay. His legs gave away, and then he fell forward. And
The old-fashioned roundhouse to the head.
Yeah, from McIntosh, smashed him. McIntosh is running with that helicopter landing pad on the top of his head. That hairstyle of his, too, it's not a great one. It was a nasty hit when he got Byrne-Jones. So now into attack, Port Adelaide go. Dixon couldn't quite get hold of it. Baker high up and under ball, straight up and down the chimney. Here is McIntosh. Couldn't quite bring it down. Burton was tackled without it. Castagna went through. Powell Pepper couldn't gather. Broad's been excellent for the Tigers, and Dersman jumps on the foot. He's still bouncing around. Umpire letting it go. Robbie Gray around the corner. Timely spoil. Is that a free kick? Is it holding on against Bolter?
Dixon.
Yeah, Charlie Dixon's going to get the free, and Bolter just got an arm around him.
on the Harvey Norman replay there, he just had an arm around. Dixon won the free kick. Please tell me you didn't have that one written down, though, Biggles, in the notes of the jokes, the helicopter landing pad.
It's obvious, you can see it. You don't need to write it down.
You've been body shaming all night. You need to get it out of your call, mate.
So Charlie Dixon missed over half a season with that surgery. His body has let him down tonight. And this kick has let him down also across the face of goal. It'll be a rush minor score. 9-7-61. Port Adelaide, 14-10-94. The Tigers, that lead at 32 points, back to 32, I should say. Triple M Beacon Trade Scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services, and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
That, of course, Rocky, comes from the old Robert Redford Biggles. As the ball goes inside 50, ball spills around. They're working hard here, the Richmond defence. They try and clear it out. Port Adelaide will go back in, so Port having a little run here. They can chop it back to a bit over 4 goals if they kick it straight. The mark's been taken by McEntee.
Coming up for his first kick of the night on the Red Z lending stats. He's had the 6 handballs for tonight, but this is his first shot on goal. Hopefully for the young man, he can go back and slot this through.
Well, Dixon didn't make the distance. See if he can.
So McEntee going to the Cathedral end, and it's away to the right. He's got the penetration, but not the accuracy. So it's back to a 31-point lead, Richmond. 14-10-94. Port Adelaide a 9-9-63 on the Triple M Beacon Trade Scoreboard.
So the Cats certainly taking care of the Saints down at the Cattery, and Richmond looking in control here. 31-point leaders as they eye off the top 8. So Lynch gathered at half back and then sends it to half forward. Rewalt couldn't make amends. Noah Bolter went through late and cleaned up McKenzie. No free kick down the ground. McKenzie got rid of it to Powell Pepper, who does well on Sonzi. Little 180 spin move. Butters, oh, beautiful gather. Slides into Farrell on his left. Has Powell Pepper to his outside. Elects to go himself. Rosie's got a hand. Rosie! Huge ride. Eyed off Rioli. Sat on his shoulders. And we've seen some high-flying antics tonight. None better than that one.
What saw there? He called it early. Rosie's got the hang.
You're going to call it? He's run around and kicked the goal.
Waiting for it. You've got to pay the mark. Of course it was going to be a goal. It was a lay down there, but the hang was just amazing. In your special comments, you're supposed to pump up the mark, Rocky. Don't worry about the play. I was idolising the hang. Was huge. 25-point lead to Richmond now. And that is all happening on the Triple M Beacon Trade Scoreboard.
He sat on Rioli's shoulders. Beautiful mark from Connor Rosie. It looked like a dry night, but he completed the most important part of that. He ran around and kicked the goal for Port Adelaide, more importantly, as he grabs his knee. Now a little bit sore, but a really nice finish then from Connor Rosie.
He grabs his knee now, but when he went to take that mark in slow motion in Harvey Norman replay, he jumps off his left leg, so people will be happy about that, the Port Adelaide supporters.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Another one for Port to make it interesting. Wines in and under. Got a little handball out. Houston releases. Looking for Butters. Gets him. Oh, he had a fumble. Butters had a case of the Butters. It's out of play. We'll have it thrown in right in front of the Triple M commentary box.
Real zinger for Brent Yates.
We got the memo as special comments to stay out of the caller's way, and we gave you plenty of time to call that goal because you just didn't want to talk.
Good stuff, Yatesy. 21 years of commentary, Brent Yates. Only, I think, Robbo and maybe the Chew Man have been longer than Yates. He reminds us every time he walks into the box, don't sit in his seat.
What about that day you got here and Brian
Taylor was sitting in Yates.
He wasn't happy.
Gee whiz.
Oh, Bristler, he had to move.
World was going to end. 25-point lead to the Tigs. Can Port get another one? Make it very interesting. We're going to get another stoppage. This is not what Port Adelaide want. They need some run. So Miller up against Bryn Teakle. Great to see Teakle getting another crack at it after that broken collarbone on debut. He also agreed to a new contract yesterday. Port Adelaide rewarding him. He's done his rehab well, smashes through, dumps Miller on the ground. That's what they love about him, the aggression and the follow-up.
See, with Port Adelaide going wing on, that just opens up the front of the stoppage for Richmond so they can come out. They almost did then.
Oh, here's Bolton stepping through traffic. He got beat the ball quickly. It was a touch by Lear, it was.
Okay.
Wow, that was lightning quick. Minor score, and Richmond are out by 25 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, and we've played nearly 13 minutes final term.
Just got a touch to it.
Play on.
Shea Bolton electrifying. Kane Farrell with the kick-in duties to Dixon. Strong hands outstretched on Robbie Tarrant. Now Travis Blake needs some numbers to get in front of him. He just treads water for a little bit and then elects to kick to a dodgy one-on-one to McEntee. He spills the mark and it flips out the other side. And a holding the ball is going to go against Pickett. That's McEntee with the footy.
Butters,
is it? Got the bright green boots. His binoculars of Yates aren't working. So now Teakle sits under it. Big fist. Oh, Morris Rioli, that was brilliant. Spun out of it with a wet ball and handballed off. And now Daniel Rioli does the same. Back to Morris. This is the way they run the Tigers. Just brilliant. Noah Cumberland crosses the paint at 50. Could have had a shot on goal. Spots up Shea Bolton, who turns inside out. Around the corner. Shea Bolton, electric Tigers. Great goal. That's the fourth for Shea.
You called it early before. Rioli to Rioli, some magic on the wing. And then they're running in waves, and Ryan Burton stands goal side of Bolton. They square the ball up. Easy. That's how Bolton likes it.
Get down to the boundary for Bob Jane teammates. Ebo.
Now, Darcy Byrne-Jones, we knew he had a bit of a hit to the head a little bit earlier. It looks like he's ready to go. He's coming back onto the ground. Didn't actually do a concussion test, and the doctors were obviously pretty happy with how he was looking. So he's back onto the ground and ready to go. And also Jack Graham was the other one that I reported on being down in the rooms through the whole three-quarter time break. He's also back on the ground and looking lively.
Good news on those two. I'll tell you why the binoculars aren't working. You're holding them the wrong way round, Biggers.
We're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy.
That's not funny.
The reverse binocular holder Biggers. Now here's Ollie Wines in the middle of the ground, gets things rolling, puts a long high ball inside 50 for Port Adelaide. Daniel Rioli, Butters beats him to it, handball over the top. Pau Pepper slipped over on the wet greasy conditions and he lost the ball. He was tackled and laying on his back, ball spilled. It's wrapped up again and we'll have a ball up inside Port's 50. It's a 32-point lead to the Tigers on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Last goal to the Tigers was remarkable to watch on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. New Google Pixel 6a available now at Harvey Norman, plus receive a bonus $150 gift card. So inside attacking 50, the ball was spilling around for Port, and the pressure from the Tigers to get out of there was good. Pickett was set upon though. Yeah, Pryor, no, he didn't.
Charlie Dixon just got spun around 3 times, and I'm not sure he even disposed of the ball and didn't get done holding the ball. Red Z lending stats, Bolton up to the 4 goals now, as well as Tom Lynch.
He's 4-4 in here, Rocky. Bolton,
yeah,
so what, he's had 8 shots and extraordinary night. Goes inside 50 here for Port Adelaide. Ball spills down. Pau Pepper. McEntee as well. It's out of play. We'll have it thrown in.
Yeah, he has. He's kicked 4-4, so let me just add that up for you, Yoda. Yep, that's 8 shots on goal.
We'll have it thrown in underneath the old scoreboard. 32-point leaders, Richmond. Port Adelaide were threatening. But is there something still there for them? They need one here. Pal Pepper. He just used his body to bulldoze, and then it's fisted through by the Tigers' defence for a minor score. It was by McIntosh. So Richmond by 32.
Looking at the Red Z stats, both teams have had 330 possessions. Richmond obviously leading on the scoreboard, been far more effective when they get the ball.
Triple M Red Z landing stats with Sean Burgoyne. So Jace Burgoyne gathers at ground level. Kicks inside attacking 50. Robbie Tarrant strong in the contest. In fact, it was Bolter. I thought it was Tarrant who had the hand bandage, but Bolter took a mark up against 4. Oh no, Rioli kicked the ground. Possible turnover ball on the arc of 50. So Port Adelaide can't get their hands on it though. Still a slippery pill. Rain's been on and off. Castagna on. The sub came on for Vlosten. Kicks long down the line. Jonas up against Rewalt. My little hack soccer kick inside attacking 50. Gave Lynch a look at it. Now Aliir's got him. He's got him hand up against the boundary line, pushed him over the line. We'll get a boundary throw and just love to see the Tigers run in waves. That is exciting stuff. And if they get through to the top 8, there'll be a few sides pretty nervous, I would have thought.
So we'll have it thrown in. City end. Tigers by 31. Time ticking away here for Port Adelaide. Teakle in his second game. Ball spills out of Burton's hands. Cochin wrapped up. Then Curvis got toe to ball. Ground level. Bolton a little look away. Gave it to Pickett. Snap around the body, and he's just not able to bend it around enough. In fact, it's out of bounds on the full.
Again, you saw Bolton just fly in, pick that ball off one hand, and just give the handball off. Said it all night. He's been making the conditions look dry there tonight.
Aliir's had his hands full from the defensive pocket. Jaden Short gathers at ground level around the corner. Lynch had a look at, that's outstanding. Going back with the flight. Courageous work, Farrell. Eyes on the footy. Big numbers coming in around him. Took a strong contested mark. Beautiful use of the footy on that left foot laser of his. Powell Pepper as Houston.
It's got to be 50.
Played for the 50. Did a little balk move and
he did, didn't he? Sucked him right in.
The Tigers are the most penalised club in the AFL for 50-metre penalties by a long way, and just gave another one away then. I think it was Jaden Short on the mark. Powell Pepper.
Interchange.
Play on. Yours.
Sure if Rocky's trying to learn how to speak or if he actually saw something down there, but we'll work that out in a minute. So Dan Rioli gathers. Picked up the footy. Out to the wing.
Dan Houston came from the ground. He didn't go through the interchange gates. Trent McKenzie was aware of it. He didn't run back onto the ground. Houston sat down, had to get out of his chair, run back around, through the gates, and then come off.
Thanks for clearing that up, Rocky. Nice mark, Lynch. He was actually bustled out of play by Short as well. He was the man who got sucked into that 50. Now here's Lynch with the footy. Richmond lead it by 31. Their record margin here at the Adelaide Oval is 33. Our producer, Tom Basso, just flicking through the record books. He'd know all the Port scores off the back of his hand. Biggles. Here's Burton for Port Adelaide. Oh, big fist McIntosh. Drew gathers, tried to release.
Teakle's down.
Yeah, Teakle and McIntosh getting to their haunches now. Hopefully they're okay. Dan Rioli. Castagna's kick was smothered. Dersman didn't know where it went. Had a look over his shoulder. It bounced back. Castagna. They're now into the pocket. Lynch! Aliir, strong fist. Closed late. Now Bryn Teagle's up to his feet. Lands in his lap. Picks it up. Running through now. Set upon there. That was Miller for the tackle. Did he dump him correctly? Holding the ball against Robbie Gray.
Strange decision. He'd handballed the ball.
So it's going to be another opportunity here for the Tigers. Miller just goes sideways. Gets it to Noah Bolter. So they lead it by 31, Richmond, and they're going to pump it deep inside the 50. Gee, Bolter just able to do what he likes off that kick. He goes long in the revolt direction. McKenzie with a fist from the side sees it out of play.
Richmond forwards have been allowed far too much time and space when the ball comes in. They body their player first and they run and jump. The Port Adelaide defenders have to just body them and not allow them to have a free run.
Sean Burgoyne, Tom Rockcliffe in control of the Triple M C-Bus Super Special. Comments how good to have them both in Triple M all year. Now Curvis out of the ruck. Cochin with a wrap around. Couldn't quite connect with it. A flying shot on goal. Aliir saves the day, but his kick is going to ask Bergman a big task and will actually float over the boundary line out of bounds on the full.
That play's happened all night inside forward 50 for Richmond. They've set it up perfect where a runner goes through that lane just on the defensive hip of the ruckman and laid it down, and it happened again. Cochin just couldn't get enough purchase on it to put it through the goals.
Marlon Pickett's up right up against the fence and getting some constructive criticism from the Port Adelaide faithful in row one.
Well, the
Still going back at him.
Well, the umpire's only allowing him to have like a 3-step run-up or 4-step run-up here. Surely he's allowed to let him come around.
It's like the kick over the Torrens that Triple M did.
He's got it.
To get 2 steps. Wonderful kick, though. If anyone can, Pickett can. And then he went back for a little bit of vibe with the crowd. So that's how you snag it. Beautiful kick.
Well, I know the umpire wants to keep him in line with the goals, but because it's so close to the man on the mark to where the fence is, surely he allows him to come around a little bit instead of just saying, no, that's where you got to go. But it didn't seem to bother him. He kicked a very, very, very good goal. I just thought some common sense there would be. Let him come around a bit.
Beautiful finish in the end, yes. And of course, Triple M are doing the torp over the Torrens in a couple of weeks on the showdown, and last time a bloke ended up in the drink.
Yeah, not enough run-up, boys. Get it sorted this year. 37-point lead to the Tigers.
Let's head to Ebo for Bob Jones T-March.
You wouldn't believe it who has just bumped into me. Craig Ebert has done a hot lap of the whole oval, shaking hands and tapping arms. Craig, you're here with me. How you feeling, mate?
Yeah, this is not a good game, but good to speak to you, blokes. I haven't seen you tonight, so...
Just to lighten the load here anyway. Yeah, not fun. Anyway, guys, back to you.
It's a family show.
Why are you sitting undercover anyway, Bradley? You should be down there in the rain.
No way, mate. I'm in the rain. Don't you worry.
37-point lead to the Tigers. I think you're the only one he hasn't seen tonight, Ebo. He's been around the high fives everywhere. Jang, just a nice guy. As we've got the footy, the Tigers have got it on the back edge of centre wing. And Jack Graham with the footy.
So Long to a one-on-one, and Lynch. Cumberland gathers, and Aliir shuts it down. We talked about those statistics from our producer Tom Basso, the Port Power Nuffy. I wonder if he knows the sign writer down at Port Adelaide. Might need to get another one organised this week at Albion on Port Road.
Re-sign Hinkley.
Throw in. Old Biggles just loves pulling the bullet on the grenade and not really letting it go right off. So the ball spilling around. Cochin, a little chipping ball. Gee, a late close by Aliir. Fizz really has gone out of this one. Here's Lynch. He's looking for another goal. He tried to snap it around, but he's missed everything. It's out of bounds on the full. And the Port defence will get it.
He's dropped some bombs tonight, old Biggers. He's Carl Amon signed somewhere else. He's what signed do you?
Has he not?
I would think he hasn't signed anywhere yet.
Well, did you not say off air that this could be Kenny Hinkley's last game? Do you want to go down that path?
No, I certainly did not say that.
37-point lead to the Tigers, and not sure why the Port Adelaide fans aren't fans of Kenny Hinkley, but I like him. So now as we count this one down, we're inside 5 minutes. Tigers are well in control. They've got their eyes on the top 8. 37-point leaders here at the Adelaide Oval. Into the pocket. Oh, Bolton went 4 deep. Got a fist though. Jace Burgoyne under pressure up against the point post. Tries to get out of defence. It can't quite do it. A nice mark taken there by Lam Baker.
So 37 points the Tigers. Baker puts a ball inside 50. And have a look at Bolton. He tried to climb over about 4 of them. He couldn't get there. But I'll tell you what, just seeing him live has been extraordinary tonight. It's out of bounds on the full. And the Tigers are going to get it again.
Watch him jump at this one. He's going to go again because it's going to come high. No, a short one, then high.
Play on. Sonsy's called to play on. So it's going to go back in that direction again. Ollie Wines is the flyer this time, is it? And he's a prisoner of gravity, Ollie Wines. He can't get up that high.
Touch.
So now, top of the goal square, can hear the umpires mic'd up exclusive for Triple M. And there it is. Oh, no, Jace Bullion had Airy. And then I think Noah Cumberland just got booted the ball, but it smacked into the goalpost, which saves it. So a minus score.
Jump out, please.
Cumberland He's already got 2 this week's Rising Star. The margin now at 38 points in front of 27,051 punters here at the Adelaide Oval.
Harvey Norman replay. Jace Burgoyne's had a fresh airy. Missed everything. He was practicing that left foot though earlier, Shawnee.
He was.
So Farrell, it was a big bring-in by Port, but it's going to be coming straight back in. Here's Prestia. He's had a terrific game. Bolton! What a star he is. Takes a really nice mark, and there was a fair bit of body heat to that. He's a bit slow to try and get to his toes.
Burton just coming the other way, and he's already kicked 4 on Burton, so he thought, why not? This is an opportunity to get a bit of payback. Bolton will line up for his 5th, but he's been super tonight. He's 9 shots on goal. This will be his 9th shot on goal, and hopefully for him, he can rectify that in the future, because if he kicks straight, he's a super talent. He's up to 95 shots or something this year on goal.
Just the way he moves across the field. He's so smooth, isn't he?
So the shot clock down to 9 seconds. He comes in. Shea Bolton has missed to the right, and it's a minor score. He's kicked 4-5. Tigers are out by 39 on the Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
He may replace Dusty Martin as their best player. Of course, Tigers missing Martin, who is due back to return in round 23, possibly. Grimes out for the rest of the regular season with that hammy. So margin at 39 points. Would make it all the way to the centre of the ground. A little chip kick there from Dersma. And set upon there. Immediately, Sonzi was a great smother. The turnover ball. That was Boak under pressure who missed the handball. Now to half forward. Jack Rewald attacks at full venom. Gathers. Morris Rioli has it. Oh, unaware.
Happened again.
Completely unaware and run down from behind. There's some silent people out there because blokes are getting run down left, right and centre. Butters terrific. Not infringing.
Red Z lending stats. That was Butters' 8th tackle for the game.
And Rioli got Rioli'd. It was Gray with the football. But what Rioli normally does, he got done. And as Sean Burgoyne has touched on a few times already tonight, the players, they see him and then they think they've just become invisible. Here's Avon. Left foot ball. Port Adelaide are inside 50. Now ground level. Oh, Richmond some numbers. Oh, Bergman tried to get boot to ball. He couldn't quite squeeze it. Castagna. He's wrapped up by Pau Pepper. Ball spill. Oh, Pau Pepper grabbed it. He should snap around the body. Has he got a goal? He has. That was hard work, or he has not. We're going to get a score review, I think. Harvey Norman replay. What's the umpire saying? We're about to hear it on Triple M footy.
I believe it's a goal. Can we check to see if it was touched or it hit the post? Okay.
I believe it was a goal. Can we see if it was touched or hit the post? Okay. Now the Harvey Norman replay. What does it look like? That's
can't tell by that vision.
We're reviewing. We are
maybe a different angle.
Yeah, we're reviewing that too.
Our screens are giving way in the box, so we're watching it on the big screen. Can't quite see whether his fingers move. I don't think it's touched.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not touched from that angle.
The Richmond supporters behind the goals sort of indicated that it had missed from where they were sitting. It certainly looks like it's a behind on that angle.
Yeah, it crosses on the wrong side of the post.
Yeah. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball passes on the behind side of the post. Decision on the scoreboard.
On the Red Zeds tonight, pretty impressive. Trent Cotchin, of his 32 disposals, 18 contested. Prestia, 32 disposals, 23 contested. And Nate, 29 disposals and 14 contested possessions. Just dominating around the stoppages, aren't they?
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. Great stuff, Silk. They've been fantastic as the footy's brought back in. It's out of play. So 38 points Richmond's lead on the Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
The Silk 101 book.
That's it. When it's
you got to realise that there's opposition out there that are going to chase you down and tackle you.
Yes, they're not invisible.
Yeah, no invisible suits, not like Tom Rockcliffe at the Moseley Hotel at 3 in the morning. And the dance floor thinks he's got his invisible suit on, no one can see him. From the throw-in.
He's explained what an invisible suit does.
Well, Rocky's got one, he brings it out at 3 o'clock though. His wife standing right next to him says, I can see you, Tom. So now Cumberland was terrific. Morris Rioli tried to gather it half forward now the Tigers. Couldn't get there. Graham went busting through. Oh, was he pushed in the back? That could have been right in front of goal. No, Jonas desperate still. Minute 20 left. right at the front of the Tigers goal. They've been terrific tonight. They've been challenged, the Tigers, been thrown around, but at the end of the night they've been cleaner, and when there's been some big moments, they've won them. 38-point lead. So Dixon doing the ruck work. Burgoyne with the clearance. Carl Amon on the left foot. Ross runs under the footy. Butters has it.
So Butters squares it up to Houston. Got around Morris Rioli. Houston releases a long ball. That's a mark. Feeding back there by the Tigers to Castagna. The medical sub. He came on for Floston earlier tonight, who copped a real heavy whack in the ribs, courtesy of the big chuck wagon. Charlie Dixon as McIntosh. So they're just milking it now here, the Tigers. To Castagna. He goes with a long, high ball. Dixon will fly. He didn't need to. He just read it best, and he takes the mark well.
So he's been in the ruck a bit tonight, Charlie Dixon. Been up against it up forward. Jace Burgoyne now provides run. Got the handball from Carl Amon. Into the pocket. Powell Pepper with a one-on-one. Bolter too strong. Really good Noah Bolter in the one-on-ones. So we'll count this one down, and that's all. Tigers too good. Margin 38 points, and they're in the 8. And they are going to make some top 8 sides shake.
Richmond came to town and their season is alive. A very nice win. We might just roll around the ground shortly. Let's head down to Mark Rasciuto with Tom Lynch.
So, it's always good to catch up with him.
Gee, Shea Bolton looks dangerous up in the forward line, doesn't he?
Oh, unbelievable. He's had a great year, and he just gets better and better. So, he's amazing. He's so hard to stop.
You got room for Dusty in there in the finals?
I think we'll find room. Don't worry about that. But, we've obviously got a couple of things go our way, and we've got to win the next 2 weeks, and we'll see how we go. But, it's a great win tonight. Port Adelaide, they're so hard to beat here, and we've had great battles over the years.
And Cochin and Presti are looking really good in the midfield at the moment as well.
Yeah, definitely. They're just superstars, and they get it done. I think Sonji's gone in there, and he just hasn't missed a beat. He's been great. So young blokes are going well. Morris Rioli, Cumberland's, again, just fought his way through. Got a couple of goals in the end.
Can you do some damage in September?
Oh, who knows? We've got to get there first. So we keep winning, see how we go. So, it's exciting.
Well played tonight, mate. Well done.
Good on you, Roo. Mark Rasciuto, thanks to our friends at Fox Footy, having a chat there with Tom Lynch, who was sensational tonight with 4 goals for Richmond. And just around the grounds, it is important to update that score. RAA and Sherwood, the locals today. The Saints, they were belted. 45 points came back to in the end, but the Cats get home by 45 points. So that means after this win tonight, Richmond are in the 8. They sit a half a game clear of St Kilda and a game and a half in front of the Western Bulldogs. We look back on this game. It's our Triple M Amy review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fansurance and you could win. Tommy Rockcliffe and Sean Burgoyne. What's the upshot out of this tonight?
Yeah, well, Richmond just dominated the game in the end. They blew it open in the third quarter, and anytime you're plus 33 in contested possession, plus 18 inside 50, plus 6 at clearance, all the stats say that they should have won the game and won it quite comfortably. We always felt like they were on top, but Port Adelaide were in the game on the scoreboard up until half-time, and then things started to open up for Richmond. They hunted in numbers, ran in numbers, and they just worked Port Adelaide down. Port Adelaide couldn't go with them in that third quarter.
Yeah, I think Richmond just controlled the game from start to finish. Port Adelaide got back into the game, but I thought that was purely because Richmond just, backed off for a few minutes and then Port Adelaide capitalised. But Richmond's stars, Cochin, Prestia, Nank, Rioli was probably best on ground up to half-time and then kind of drifted out a little bit. Bolton, Lynch, their stars came to the top, they led the way. And we spoke about contested possession, Cochin, 18, Prestia, 23, Nankervis, 14. That's contested possessions. So they're putting their bodies on the line and showing the rest of the guys this is how it's done. And they want to play finals. they want to play finals, they keep the dream alive, and they'll get the great Dustin Martin back at some stage. So imagine him getting into this team if they can continue playing that brand of footy.
And this is typical of the Tigers in that they don't have massive numbers. They don't get players who start up the 35s and the 30s and so forth. They're normally around the lower end, isn't it? It's an even spread.
Yeah, tonight's probably one of their higher ones. They normally have the early 20s is their top possession winner, but tonight Cochin's got 32, Prestia 32, Nankervis 29, Rioli 25. So you're a little bit off the mark there, Biggers, but tonight they found plenty of the footy and they were just far too good in the contest, in and around the contest, and every time they went forward, Lynch looked so dangerous. I thought they should have made that change a little bit earlier. I thought Alir was really good in the last quarter and a bit when he went to Lynch. His closing speed was really good. I thought that was a better matchup, but they were just far too good.
And Bolton just ripped the game apart. Last week he had 12 score involvements, most of anyone on the round. Tonight he's kicked 4 goals, 5, and he had a few more goal assists. So, reminds me of a different type of player, but when Buddy Franklin first came onto the scene, he was kicking 5, 6, 4, 7, 5, 8. Like, he was having so many shots on goal, and he was kicking more points than goals. And they're two different players, but I'm just trying to compare the amount of shots they're having on goal. And he's playing on ball and forward, but he's getting 9, 10, 11 shots on goal weekly. So when he does get his kicking boot on, he does kick straight, man, he's just going to be the best player in the comp by so far when he starts kicking straight. Because if he's getting 20 to 30 possessions a week and he's kicking 6, 7, 8 goals, look out.
How important is this ruck situation for Port Adelaide? Given Teakle had to come in tonight, they've been sort of working their way through with a bit of a makeshift setup for the last 8 or 10 weeks, whatever it's been. Given what we saw tonight from Nankervis and the impact he had on the game, surely it's an area that needs to be addressed and quickly for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, well, we know Lysette's there. Unfortunately, he had a shoulder op and then got an infection, so that's kept him out, and they sorely missed him tonight. It hasn't been a big issue for him, but it's starting to become a real issue now for him. You hear a little bit of noise about Brodie Grundy, whether they can lure him back home if he's on the out there. I think they're certainly interested in him, but I'm not sure that they do need to fix it. They can't continue to run Dixon and Finlayson and that through the middle. Teakle tried his hardest tonight, but he's a second game player, so he's going to take time to develop. They clearly don't want to play Sam Hayes. They don't genuinely like what he does around the ground. His ruck work's not too bad, but they think he can't run at the level. So it's a bit of watch this space. You'd imagine that Hayes might look for an opportunity somewhere else. So then can you bring another ruckman in, and whether it be a Grundy or someone, you want to bring in a top-end ruckman, I think, if you wanted to bring a ruckman into the club.
Collingwood supporters are pretty wrapped with that mail you dropped there, Scoops, weren't they, about
Well,
Grundy?
Speaking of mail, you were dropping it left, right and centre tonight.
I don't drop mail, mate. I do not drop mail. I just give information for the Triple M listeners.
It was a good win of the Tigers. They were home by 38 points. Catch a quarter-pounder range meal and score a free Macca's glass. Start collecting today. The standoff continues between Biggers and Rocky. The other thing I want to ask you about tonight was just from watching the game from up high and just the pressure and hassling, and you don't see all that stuff on the stats, do you? Like, I know all the contested stuff you've spoken about already, but it's as though there's an intensity level that Port Adelaide were outplayed at tonight. They didn't reach the heat, not the contested stuff as much as the swarming and that sort of gear.
Well, Richmond just got numbers to the contest. They had really good shape, whether the ball was at a stoppage and then on the ground. They had really good shape around it. So there's 2 or 3 options for the player to give the ball to, or there's a long kick and the ball hit the ground. They just had more numbers there. And then what that does do is when you get the ball, you're able to use your numbers and use your advantage, and then vice versa, if the opposition get it, when Port get it, they're able to put a lot of pressure on and turn it over. So they just hunted in packs, and then once they sniffed that turnover, they just ran forward in waves, and we saw it over and over, and eventually it wore Port Adelaide down.
Well, it doesn't read it on the stat sheet because Port Adelaide had 86 tackles to Richmond 60, but the pressure that Richmond put on was way above what Port Adelaide put on in those important times around the game. So certainly Richmond were up for the contest tonight, and that third quarter that they just hunted in packs, and we spoke about it. They were running in waves of numbers, and they just wore Port Adelaide down. And a few Port players got a bit jumpy at times. I reckon we called it up here. They were a little bit jumpy or had a bit of a slight fumble at certain times tonight.
Yeah, massive 10 goals from turnover. That's just crucial, isn't it? That's what Richmond scored, 10 goals of their 16 were created from a Port turnover.
Well, they get the turnover and then they run forward and they tap it, they knock it forward, they sock it forward, and they just know what they're going to do. And then that's what they do. They run in the waves, and you guys called it over and over. Look at the wave run. And then in the end results, they get either easier shot on goal because they're just backing each other in.
Where do Port Adelaide need to improve? They've gone backward this year, obviously, and what do Port fans grab onto and what do Port Adelaide work on over the summer? I know there's a couple of games left. They've got, obviously, the showdown, and next week they take on Essendon, I think it is. So there are a couple of games to work on stuff, but how does this side get themselves back into September?
Well, I think their defence has been quite good for a couple of years, and their contest work, not tonight, wasn't there, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. The biggest thing that they need to work on is their offence and their ball movement, their style of play, and then when the pressure comes on, how they nullify the opposition's influence when they have the full momentum. So their execution under pressure is one, but also the skill level needs to improve. They need to go to work hard on their skill, their kicking skills, to retain the ball and give themselves an opportunity to attack the game from a different front. And we've spoken about it at length. It's been an issue now for a couple of years down at Port Adelaide. I think they need to really hone in on that ball movement and get their offense side of the game up and going.
So if we look at the retirement, of course, of Stevie Motlop, Boak's still in ripping form. So it goes on, you would have thought. Robbie Gray?
I think he goes on, and he's got the right to make his call whether he does or not, in my opinion.
Still went into the centre bounce tonight. How do you think his performance? I thought last week he was pretty good. Had 18 disposals last week and 5 tackles. Of course, had a bit of... he was the oldest man out there today. How'd he go stat-wise, Triple M Red Z lending stats and impact around the footy, you would have thought, Shawnee? Did he have an impact? That's where he's most damaged.
Well, I think his impact was down on the contest. But I reckon the majority of the Port Adelaide forwards were down because the ball just didn't come in there, or when it did come in there, Richmond defenders and their defensive structure was far better than Port's forward structure and the way the ball was coming in. So they either intercepted it and marked it, or they spoiled it, and Robbie's at the front of their feet for the soft drop, but when the Richmond defenders spoil it away, he can't get the ball. So I think he would have liked to play better. I think they all would have liked better, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the weeks, the rest of the 2 weeks go. But he's still going on ball, and he's still clever enough to be in and around the contest, and when he is forward, he takes normally their best small defender as well.
Shawnee, what's important about what Rocky's telling us about with the ball movement? As a side, when you're trying to move the ball and it's not going as you want to do, what do you have to do to get it moving in the way you want it to go?
Well, the number one thing is work rate. You have to work hard when you have the ball.
So do you think Port aren't working hard enough at times?
Well, they've got to work hard, but you've got to have connection, you've got to have system, you've got to know where you want the ball going. Do you want it inside or outside, which you've got to build through pre-season, and you've got to change things up. So you can't always go through the middle. You have to have a plan B, go wide, you have to switch it, you have to work on those things. So you have to create space, you have to create opportunities for the easy kick, because if you just bomb it long, which they've been doing a lot of, opposition teams will intercept it. But there's a lot of things that go into ball movement. It's just not as easy as getting a kick in the ball, because there's an opposition out there who are trying to take away your strengths as well.
Well, it was a big win to Richmond. They keep their race alive for season 2022. We might head into the votes, boys. The Triple MVP Award for homeloans.com.au. Homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. Who's got the votes?
Yeah, I do tonight. We gave one vote to Tom Lynch. We thought he was an impact player. He kicked the 4 goals. He was up and about early on in the game, and then the start of the third quarter, he's the one that kicked the momentum off for Richmond. Dion Prestia through the midfield for 2 votes. He had the 32 disposals, 23 contested possessions, off the charts. He had the 10 clearances to go with it, and they needed to put a bit more time into him tonight. We know that Drew tried to get to him, but he was just too good in the end, and best on ground was Bolton in the end. He's had the 9 shots on goal, 4 goals, 17 disposals. He broke the game apart. 11 contested possessions, and he was best on ground for us.
He was extraordinary, wasn't he?
That Nank. Big Nank.
Ruckman should not be out there.
Lynch kicks 4 and has 15. Nank was dominant. He absolutely smashed this game. And Ruckman having 29 disposals and tearing apart... Oh, you're kidding me.
At 53%. He turned half of them over.
Are you kidding
I think
me?
Daniel Rowell's also stiff as well, because I think Richmond had a number of players who could have featured in the votes tonight. We mentioned the even spread across the team.
Terrible votes.
No, very, very good.
Make sure you call the game when there's a goal kick. You make sure you call it all right, Rose.
Good on you, mate.
We'll deal with this out in the back room. There it is. It's a win to the Tigers by 38 points over Port Adelaide. 16-13, 109. Mic drop from Tommy Rockcliffe. Port Adelaide, a 10-11, 71. The Tigers home by 38 points. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services